All right, we are live in the second of the emergency meeting. I'm Rocco, going to be your host for a while. Mars has just been caught up and he'll be here in a sec, but this is your weekly emergency meeting after we watched Carlton in their wonderful performance tonight. Made us proud. The mighty Blue Boys are out there giving it their all, and tonight we're going to have a bit of a chat. I'm going to get some of the boys in and we're going to have a bit of a chat. So get ready, guys, because this is the emergency meeting. Bocek, how you going, mate?
Hello.
Andy,
What's happening?
How you going? How you going?
Good, brother.
We've got Morris. How are you, brother?
Boys, how are you?
Very good. And then we got the big Capitano, Mick. How are you, brother?
Hi, everyone.
And we'll add in the big Scott man. How are you, man?
Voila.
How we going, mate? So this is going to be good, man. We're gonna get I'm sure most people have got the link there. We'll get some more people on, but we'll start off with us six here. And we'll start this emergency meeting, which we need. We have to fix up this Carlton Football Club. What are we going to do? Let's start with, who am I going to start with? You know what? I want to hear from Andy. Andy, how are you, mate?
Bro, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button and let all your mates know that we're on. How am I? I'm good, bro, but bro, I left the game and like it doesn't even matter. You know, like usually when you lose, you know, you're a bit down, you're a bit angry, you know. Nah, we were joking in the last quarter, mucking around, walked out laughing, having a laugh.
Yep.
You know, the worst part of my night was that the entrance to the Balti Bridge was closed and I had to go all the way around. That was
your worst part.
That was the worst part of
that
the
night.
That
we watched. That
nah,
was all right.
bro. Nah, that was expected. What did we expect? You know?
Yeah, I know it's expected, but it was. And I said 10 goals we'll lose by. It's expected, but when you're there, you know, like it's not. You know, you expect something more, but
it's frustrating. Definitely frustrating.
It's frustrating.
But, you know, I'm checking out, Rocco. I think I'm slowly detaching from this season. You know,
I think we all are.
Mm.
Bocek.
Yeah, I mean, look, what do you say? Expected to lose. I said 57 points. So, all right, it wasn't 57, but I think they took the foot off in the last quarter. They were trying some fancy stuff and playing around and whatever else. I mean, it is what it is. This is going to be the same sort of chat, I think, for the rest of the season. I don't think much is going to change until the end, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've got a few points. I've written down nearly an A4 sheet of notes over here on how bad we were. To be fair, if we're going to, you know, call it as it is, we did have a couple patches there where I'm thinking, all right, we actually, that's decent. But I'm sorry, a couple of patches doesn't win you a game. You know, I mean, we can do that. We've been doing that for so long where it's, oh, that looks good. And then we go and concede 5 in a row. You know what I mean? So to me, it still doesn't mean anything, but it is what it is. What can we say?
I don't know, man. That's what we're here for. You're right. What can we say, man? Like some of that stuff are on there. It's just not AFL standard to take. We can't hit 20. We can't hit 20-meter targets, bro.
I mean, it started for me pre-game. I don't know if anyone else saw Cripper's interview pre-game where they were pointing out his slippers. Did anyone see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. His whole demeanor, that was Cripper's chance right before the game to show some passion, to G up the supporters. And when posed with the question, I think I'm paraphrasing, but what's the plan going out there tonight? We got something like we're going to go out there and give it a really good effort, and it was just this monotone voice. It's like, oh, okay, so you're going to go out there and you're going to try. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
you
great.
could tell his vibe was off
star,
straight
mate.
from the start.
Yeah, and then when I heard that, I just thought, okay, if this is the mentality going into tonight, that would have been a really, really good opportunity to say something like, or at least show some sort of passion. I'm not saying bake a cake and bloody light fireworks off it to show how much you're keen, right? But, it was a really good opportunity to show something, but no grit, no grunt, no passion. It is what it was. There was just nothing substantial about it. And, I didn't even, we had a few spots there, like I said, where we actually moved it okay, but then the bad outweighs the good and by a lot. Like the clinical basic errors, like, come on, what are we doing? I felt like I was watching a VFL team and a mid-table VFL team at best.
It's spot on, man.
It's
fucking
not
shit, huh?
We just are. We're just not a good team. I mean, I accepted it a long time ago. And look, I will say this. The conversation keeps getting spoken about, whether it's Voss, whether it's the players, and so on and so forth. Tonight, I think this will be the first time I've said it. Right, the players were dog shit. It's as simple as that. I don't think the majority of that was on Voss for tonight. Now, flip side is that there's no system there. Well, there's absolutely, I don't know what the hell they were told to do tonight. Whatever it was utterly wrong, right? But at the same time, whatever they were trying to execute and just basic skill errors has nothing to do with the system. They were just butchering everything. It was painful to watch. It was just, you want to scream and then you kind of hold yourself back and go, why does it matter? It really doesn't
I
matter.
agree.
So.
And their skills are seriously below par. I know that's not on Voss. Unfortunately, Voss is going to take the brunt of this.
Yeah.
And if it's not this week or next week, or then I believe he'll get the sack sooner than later, because there has to be a pressure release at the club. There has to be.
Yeah,
and then by doing that, you put in an assistant. Then if you lose, it really is not as bad. But this just keeps building and building and building. Mick, welcome, mate.
Hello. I want to add to what you just said, Rocco. He said that the skills isn't Voss. There's got to be a part of that the coaching staff take responsibility for. Usually when something's going wrong in your workplace, your managers would focus on that area. If you sell bloody cars and you're not selling enough sedans, your boss is the one that turns around and says, fellas, we've got to focus on some sedans because the numbers are looking shit. Like, it's as simple as that. If our skills, they haven't just dropped away, they've fallen out of oblivion. Like, this is, we're horrid. Surely we turn the game plans off and just start doing some bloody Oz kicking and marking. Like, I know that sounds really simple, but that's a spot that look at our goal kicking tonight. I mean, how many shots on goal do we miss? Charlie Curnow, look at Ashton Moyer, like a new kid that can grab the ball, looked really, really, sparky in that forward line, and not one. What did he get? One? I think he kicked one. It's just Moyer. It's just Anyway, I think there's an element of it that has to fall. And I've not been a coach kicker. I've been a player kicker, but now I'm getting to a point where I'm saying, well, there has to be some of this, even the skill level stuff that they've got to be responsible for. Turn the focus onto it. Make it more of a, like Paulo and Terry said at training, when they went to training, they were missing kicks at training and nothing said about it. If we can't get those bits right, and then the worst part is we watch teams like Brisbane, and how the hell were we even compared to them to be a top 4 side this year is beyond me. You watch them and you watch Collingwood, they don't miss a target. They get, 1 in every 20 kicks or handballs might miss. Ours is the exact opposite though. We might get 1 out of 20 right. I can't fathom it. The amount of times I didn't go again tonight, I'm crook, so I stayed home. But the amount of times I watched looked away. I went to the kitchen and started cooking while I was watching the game. I got that bored from watching it. But one thing I will give it, besides all that, because it is infuriating to watch the skills being bad, but the one thing I will give them is you, and I think David Kingy said it tonight, you can't fault their effort tonight. They went, their effort was there. I think that way better than last week. It was a heap of improvement on last week. We just, as soon as we get the ball, no matter how much pressure we put on, we give it up because of those skills. So I have to give them a point in that column for effort, but that's it.
Surely we can't be clapping effort though.
I'm not clapping it. All I'm saying is
I'm not saying you.
only check in the box. Yeah.
But like the fact that we have to even say that, like effort's just fucking fundamental football. That's just a non-negotiable week in, week out. It has to be there. And for me, when effort's not there, that falls on the coach. That for me falls on the coach because your message as a coach isn't getting through to the players and they're not willing to reach that standard. Mm-hmm. That for me is purely on the coach.
I agree, and I think it's a disgusting and it's a disgrace, right? That 3.5 years into his tenure, is that the word? Whatever. Yeah. 3.5 years into it, right? And now in round 18 of year 4 or 3, whatever the fuck it is, we're talking about their effort was a lot better. Are you kidding me, mate? Yep. This is, mate, I'm telling you, they all need gangster slaps, mate. Morris?
I tried to hone in on a few things tonight. Yeah, I saw a little bit of effort. I agree with you, Andy, in regards to fundamentals. Like, even, we talk, Charlie was better tonight. Was he? Or did he just decide that to play? That should be Charlie every week. One of the things I noticed tonight as well too, I don't know if you guys did, at halftime when they came out onto the ground, they got into a circle and they just collaborated and they stayed there for a few minutes and they were trying to psych each other up. Now, I don't know if that was for show, to show the supporters that they're, that they care, but they haven't done that for quite a while. We talk our kicking like where we can't hit disposal targets and that. That's not something just of today. This was something. This has been going on pre-Voss. That we'd always, handballs over your head or to the feet. Forward coming out leading and it, 2 meters over his head. The one thing I picked up tonight that I thought was really bad that we did, our tackling.
Oh,
we can't stick a tackle. We can't stick a tackle.
You can't break one either.
Yeah, but
yes,
I'm talking
exactly.
It looked like there were situations where you had a Brisbane player saying, "Oh shit, I'm gone," right? Thinking, I've been collected, and they just, I've broken away. See you later. And it's like, fuck, just do the easy things, and everything else will fall into play. But I don't know, and.
Look, that falls, Morris, that falls on both. That falls on the coaching and it falls on the individual players. You know what I mean? I mean, they've got to be training. Like, we'll get like Curnow and, all right, he has another period. Let's clap him for getting another 15 possessions around the ground and that, mate. You got to be kicking goals, bro. You should be having 300 shots of goals every day to get this right, man. Seriously. And now I found what's happened is Moya is doing the same things that Curnow is.
Habits.
It's the same habits are coming out, mate. He's turning around, man, and trying to kick it on his left, mind you, on his left foot, from 55, and then when he had the shot at goal, he went on his right foot. Is he a left footer or is he a right footer? I don't know.
He's a
Good on.
shit
He's
kick.
good on. So with Moya, something I found out tonight. So apparently Moya's very very skilled in taekwondo. And no, I seriously.
His parents are like national taekwondo champions. He's ambidextrous.
Yeah. So he's like Keith Scotland. You didn't know what.
No. Don't you dare put his name with Heath Scotland. Heath
No,
Scotland
what I'm
was
saying-
elite
What I'm-
kicker left
yeah.
and right. Just because
Moyes
I
is
can
pretty
kick
good
left
like
and
that
right
too.
too, you know. I can kick left
Yeah.
and right. They're shit, but I can kick
I'm
left
not-
and right.
I'm not defending
Come on,
him.
bro.
That's it.
I know
Oh,
what you're
but-
saying,
But even what we're missing, and I'm with you, Rocco, on you've been calling this and I've been calling this as well too, right? If everything can't be on Voss, right? The players need to be penalised as well too, right? Because they're letting me down. They're letting
of
you know
course.
all of you down. Everyone in the chat, everyone that went to the game tonight in the rain, you know, in the cold, everyone that took time to watch it on TV or whatever. We're the ones that matter, not stick it up to the coach or, you know, and it's
I don't care,
like-
man.
no. And if you have a look at the run home, I don't think we can win a game.
No, we won't win a game.
Maybe Essendon.
No, maybe Essendon, only because of their injuries. But as far as
Correct.
like game plan and that, no chance. Scotty, you watched it from home. Yeah. What's your take on all this rubbish that we've been watching?
Yeah, well, we're talking about efforts. The only efforts that were there were shit efforts, to be honest. Voss had dug his own grave in the elimination final last year. There's going to be accountability for him. We have to expect accountability for the players. So I'm going to be the one man brave enough to stand here in front of everyone, start potting individuals, and I want to nominate for the inaugural Robert Walls medal, the great Sam Doherty. Sam, take a leaf out of Wolsey's book and retire on your own terms before the Grim Reaper starts swinging for your career, mate.
Yeah, very good.
Fuck, he fumbled so
Totally
much
agree.
tonight.
Oh,
Yeah. Getting
much.
getting in the younger players' ways, or if they're about to get decked from behind, don't even say a word, bro. Just let young Matty Carroll eat shit one after the other.
Well, you know that how Carroll got caught a couple of times, man, right? And look,
3
he got
times.
caught. It's no good. But talk to him, mate, first of all. And second of all,
There's no-
you know the second one that he got caught? I was there, mate. There was no one to kick it to. The kid looked up. There was no one there. Giving
Nobody
him
runs.
a hand, and he got blasted in that forward 50. That wasn't his fault, bro, because he went to kick it. There was nobody there. There was nobody there. And what's happening now is we're blaming like Carroll for that mistake, but that wasn't Carroll, bro. That was not Carroll's fault, mate. You know what I mean? Like, we're putting him under the pump, you know?
And I actually, sorry to cut you off, Rock. I actually look at them as good signs because the majority of the players would just boot the ball, whereas he actually has a little bit of football brain. And,
I agree.
sees that there's no target.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But over the last 2 weeks with O'Farrell and Carroll especially, they've had more responsibility in that back line than McGovern. And we know Wiedering's been down in form, but he's barely left the goal square for like a month.
Yep. And O'Farrell was he was good tonight. He was really good tonight.
Yeah. It was closer to his performance in the Giants, but he had much more responsible matchups in this week and that week compared to last week. But it's still way too much for their bodies.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm going to do an interchange for someone important's come in, so I'm going to pick
Stop me out, fellas.
All right, go out and you can hang around and we'll get you back in, all right?
Love you all.
See
TJP.
you guys.
Cheers, Scotty.
He'll be back. Who have we got here? I can't tell because I can't see his face properly, but let's have a look
Oh,
here.
here we go. He's back.
And I just can't wait to be king.
Oh, yeah.
And I just can't wait.
Can you believe that?
How do you think this
Right.
Grace?
How are we, lads? How are we? How are we, chat? How are we to the live viewers? I got to wear this mask because I'm an actual gimp. I tipped Carlton to win by 4 points. So my punishment for the whole night is to wear a mask.
Oi, don't say, hang on a second. Don't say I didn't call you dumb before the game.
I am dumb. Wallah, I'm dumb. I'm going to eat your head off, cuz.
Yeah, all right.
How are you? How are you, boys? What a night.
Brother.
How are you?
What an eventful night that was. Now, I'm sorry to all the viewers. I know I should have been hosting, and I've actually turned up late, which is disgusting by me. Absolutely disgusting. Now, I have an excuse. Just
Went
like
past
the
Abby
Carlton
Chatfield's
team,
house.
but my
Did you miss the target driving into your driveway?
yeah, Neil, I overshot it. I overshot it by 10 meters, bro. Bro, I was trying to get into my garage, and the key wouldn't work. Bro, I was flipping it. I was raging, but I'm here. I could have missed it for the
Just
world.
quickly, we're being trolled, bro, all night.
All night.
We got trolled.
Bro, are we in like some
Twilight Zone.
psychotic dream?
You sound defeated.
Bro, I'm done, man. My life's
Can I ask you?
hard.
Can I like?
Jeez, man.
I want to ask you, what was your train of thought when you thought we could win? Legit, I'm asking you like serious question.
Bro, I'm just rage baiting. Come on, man.
So you
I
didn't
rage bait
tip us?
myself. Nah. On the show, I tipped us, but on the actual tips, I put fucking Brisbane. Come on, man.
Because you know what I did? So I had us by 12 points on the show too, but it was obviously like a thing. But when I did my tipping tonight, I put Brisbane by 100. I'm not even joking. I was like, nah, we're not going to get slow.
Look at him.
As long as you got that, that's all that matters, mate.
Look at him. Fuck, he's going to need a Nurofen after tonight and by the end of the year. He'll need a couple
Apparently, there was a lot of coin through Sportsbet on Brisbane by 80 to 100.
Was there?
I mean,
Yeah.
Fuck, I got to take this off, man. I got to take this off.
Take it
Bars,
off,
I'm
bro.
wrapped. I got the quaddie.
What quad? Oh, bro. You know what? I just
Was it the
stopped.
four players
So
to
I
get
had to
injured?
get. I had to. No. Listen to me. I had to go past. I had to go past 7-Eleven, and I spotted Charlie Curnow in there. Bro,
buying a pie?
have a guess what he was buying. Have a guess what this bloke was buying.
Krispy Kremes.
Krispy
4-pack.
Kremes, the 4-pack. The 4-pack. He was buying the 4-pack. Because his fucking form is donuts, bro. 4 donuts, his bloke. 4 fucking donuts. Bro, there was one point in the game, and obviously Rocco and I, we all sit together. Bro, he was outside of the 60 for a ball in. Crowd went dead silence. What does Mars do? Get in the forward line, Charlie. What happens? Gets in the forward line. Bro, this bloke's roaming on the 60, man. Like, what's wrong with him? What is wrong with this bloke? TD
check
Chat,
out his heat
I
map.
said it since round 1. This bloke's a fucking jobber. He doesn't care about the club. Sorry, go.
What? No, I was going to ask you. What we've all been through our thoughts. What did you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Fuck, I last longer in bed than these blokes last in a game, bro. Seriously. Like, seriously. You're telling me you can only
That's
put
a
up
good
10
2
minutes?
too.
10 minutes they put up.
And you put up 2 minutes, so that's brilliant.
Fuck, together we'll equal 12, bro. Far out. Nah, genuinely, the first 10 minutes, I thought, ominous signs here. We are stuffed. I thought this could be legit 150 points. And then we kicked back a bit, and I thought, okay, Cripps got into the game, started doing his magic. And then after quarter time, the goal from Pitane, oh my God. Oh my
That's
God.
when we after that kick,
Bro,
we
won the grand
flag.
final. We won the grand final. That was the
it.
grand final.
Actually,
We
on,
all-
on that note, 7
we all
AFL
got-
put up a video of that. 7
Yeah.
AFL put up a video of that and wrote Mark Pitternet is the goat. I swear. Hang on. Just give me 1 second here. If I have to listen to one more person say "goat," right?
Loose
It is
term.
that
Loose
acronym
term.
has lost all meaning amongst the new
Overused.
generation. Everything's a goat. Everyone is the greatest of all time now. He shuts the door, it makes no sound. Oh, that's goated.
Boy, but genuinely
Right?
after
Oh,
that,
he took
that's
a shit. It didn't take
1.7.
5 minutes. Oh, that's goated. What
Bro,
the fuck? Shut up.
That's the
I say
first
goat
thing
a
I
lot.
think I've celebrated. I think that's the first thing I've celebrated all year.
Who
Fuck
was at
with
the
them,
game?
lad.
Sorry, can I just ask who was at the game and what were your thoughts on the Bronx cheer for TDK in
Good.
that last
Fuck him.
quarter?
Oh,
Fuck him.
Corn's out of
Fuck
silk.
him.
Oh,
Fuck him.
He
That was,
deserved it.
that was loud on TV too.
Bro, if
Yeah,
you're
that
gonna
was
go,
real man.
if you're gonna go, which we all know he is,
Yeah, see you later.
if you're not gonna give 100%, fuck off.
Nah. He
Simple.
was horrible tonight.
He was walking, bro. He was walking. He's putting
He was
one arm up
actually
for
playing
contest.
walking football. Walking
Yeah,
football.
it's-
That's all he
nah,
does.
bro,
He play
like-
walking football.
Bro, if
He's
you're gonna
devaluing himself.
stay, give us 100. But if you're gonna go, if you're gonna play, give 100%. But he's not even given 60, 70%.
No.
And it shows.
oh,
So
I
well
wouldn't even
deserved.
call that. Can I throw something at you all to
Yeah.
answer? Because someone brought something up tonight, right? And they were like, hey, on the way he's checking out over the last, say, 5-6 weeks or whatever, St Kilda might renege.
Yeah. Oh, bro,
Oh,
I've
that's
been
what I'm
thinking
saying.
that. Yeah.
And if that happens, if you're Carlton, what do you do?
Or you keep
Because-
him. What do you
You
do?
keep him and pay him fuck all.
I get that, but I'm not giving him 1.2.
Not
Nah,
anymore.
You won't get. Yeah.
Not
Sign
anymore.
him for 600 and
Because
tell him you're
he's
getting
back.
about 200 more than what you're worth, your dog.
Because then it
He's
pulls you-
shafting both of us.
How bad
it's
is
not-
this on the look on him?
But then we can
Both
trade
of us do, because if he does go, he's devaluing himself to what picks we can get too. If he,
No, but then we
if
can
you don't
trade
rate
him.
him, no.
No, I
Yeah.
think he'll go. I think he's still going, and I think they're going to
Yeah.
offer him over the million anyway.
He'll get
but
less. He'll get less.
I genuinely
And-
reckon he's just playing not to get injured.
Well, then he's devaluing. I'm telling you, it's saying to be stupid because if that's the kind of attitude that player's got, I don't want him. How could the
I
Saints
know.
want him?
Can he have signed already?
No.
No.
So
No,
I don't
legally he
think
can't.
he has. I don't
No,
think he
he
has.
can't. Not yet.
It
can't
needs
sign.
it needs to be done during that window when the
Well, I
AFL
reckon he's
opens
already
up.
told St Kilda, listen, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably
Obviously,
right.
you can't say anything. So he's just going to go through the motions. He's got another 6 games. He'll probably limp to 100 games. They'll probably just walk him to 100 games. So he gets his name on the locker.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
He doesn't
I reckon-
deserve it.
not the... Bro, we've done this so much with so many players in the past where we
deserve
just
it.
walk them to milestones.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
walk them through seasons. Mate, we don't make tough calls. Why is Doherty still playing? Why?
Oh, that,
I
I'm like-
understand everything
I
he's
can't
done.
even. I can't even be bothered with him anymore.
But like, I understand what he's done and what he's been through, and I respect it. You're a legend. You're a fucking legend, bro. We love you. We're all gonna love you, but you are tarnishing your reputation now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? All you're doing is taking the spot from someone young. You're getting in their way, as someone pointed out before. Come on, man. Like, just make the call, bro. We've said it all year since he came back in. He's just off. You know, and look, he took someone's spot last year in a semi-final too.
And he was off
This
that
is
night
a
too.
like he's a boxer. He's like a prime boxer, man, who
Yeah.
doesn't want to stop, right? And I don't blame
get
him.
it.
But
Yeah,
he's on the club. This is on the club, mate.
100%.
Make the move, mate.
Correct.
If we don't make that sort of move, what are we doing?
There's
Sorry,
no
mate,
ruthlessness,
I'm
mate.
a bit late. I know you come a bit late before I forget, but there was a couple of super chats. If you want to read them out,
Oh, yeah.
because
Give me
you
one
probably-
sec.
you don't know, or do you want me to read them
I
out?
got him. I got Aiden. Hey, thank you for the $2. Oz Yates.
Yep.
Motlop is a dud player. He needs to be delisted, to be honest. We had too many turnovers in the second half of the game. Pitane was actually good. I think Pitane's been when he's been awesome. Dynamic, hypnotic. Andy, your lashes are beautiful, mate. Mrs. said your fucking hell, her ass. Is that Charlie Bronson on the bottom left?
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Thank you for the super chats and thank you for everyone.
Can
who's
I
in there.
segue into
Hey,
Motlop
missus, I said
quickly?
Yes.
Did anybody see because I love checking them, the heat map on Motlop tonight? He
No.
played
Like
80% of his game in the midfield.
Disgusting.
And at one point,
Did he get the most
80%.
clearances? Did he get our most clearances?
I haven't checked the stats, but
He got the most clearance.
did he get more than
So-
Crip?
No,
I'm not saying I'm not
at one
saying he's
stage,
a jet.
clearances was Cripper, then Hewitt, then 3 Brisbane players. Cripper was on, I think, 8, Hewitt 7, and the rest. And then there was 3 Brisbane players on 4 each.
Mate.
You know another thing that scares me? Talking about going into next year.
He was
So,
top
like,
3
we
at
were
5. Sorry.
We were talking about and like players out of contract, and I brought up McGovern, and apparently some of these players that are coming out of contract have clauses.
Yeah, he's got a clause. I think it's how many
So-
games he's played for the year.
Yeah, so McGovern's got a clause,
Yeah.
and I think some other players do as well too.
Yeah.
So
I don't really like that because when they get their contract, say he gets 2-3 years, like how do you know if he's going to go back? He might go back to what he was before this year.
yeah,
That's like remember when we had Liam Jones. So we signed him for, and then we signed him for like 3-4 years, and you're going, what the hell? Lewis Young was the same. We've gone in for another 2 years, Lewis Young, or until next year, I think.
Apparently he's
And he just done a hammy as well.
Yeah, apparently he done a hammy.
Yeah, Aiden just said it too.
I'll say one thing about Pitto. You notice his actions and how he was after he scored the wobbler torp, and how he was when he rove that goal and kicked it in the goal square.
Yeah.
Right. Did you notice he had that asshole about him today?
Yeah.
Or tonight.
Yeah.
That wasn't just a G up because he kicked a goal. He looked like furious. Like that was a stuff you sort of goal. You know what I mean? Like he was G'd up.
Well, he's someone really playing for that spot.
And I think that tonight was him saying, "Don't worry about TDK, you got me." Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we need our entire team to have that attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying, I said it last week on here. I said it the week before. I say it in the chat every single week. We don't have pricks in our team. The last prick I can remember is Robbo.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And some people make the argument about Newman because he jumps into a few scuffles and whatever else. Cottrell, yeah, but I mean proper, like I'm talking if you had to put someone on the line to fight for you, who's it going to be? The Robbo's the last one I can think of. We don't have one of those in our team, but at least maybe act like it. Do you know what I mean? And when I saw that from Pitto tonight, I thought, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's actually really good. And I think, look, Williams went missing for a little bit, but he did what he had to do. He at least showed some sort of intent there, right?
Yeah, he's been in games. He has been in the game, yeah.
Yeah, he was. But can we talk about the game for a second?
Oh, yeah, fuck. How uninspiring are we as a mob?
We're uninspiring, but I've made some notes here.
Yeah.
Right? I told you I had notes, right? I made some notes, right? Just it's just absolute fucking basics that we don't have that it baffles me. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Like I said before, the players themselves, they're no good at the moment. All right. Whether or not that gets fixed, I don't care. At the moment, they're no good. The system is no good, right? So that falls on both of them, both coaching and the players. But for weeks, months, years even, we are a very predictable team. Okay?
Yep.
Montagnier even said it in the commentary today. He said they're just straight lines. He said Brisbane are picking out everything they're going to do a couple moves beforehand. I said it again last week. Other teams, good teams, play chess. Right? Other teams play chess. They're thinking 2-3 moves ahead. We and you saw it with Doc a few times tonight. We get the ball, panic stations. Where's the next guy? I don't know where he's meant to be. What are we meant to do, right? So despite all of the good that might have come, and I use the term lightly, like those little patches we had tonight where Cripps out of the middle, couple handballs, we scored from it, so on and so forth. It means nothing when on a grander scale, all of these issues keep happening every single week. We're trying 10 times as hard as what Brisbane were to get a goal, and you see Brisbane go and do it like this. It's like they take their foot off and then they go, no, stuff it. We'll go score another one. Why not? That's what it feels like, right?
We lack fundamental.
100%. Our players don't run for each other. I saw one small little thing and I thought, why the hell don't we do that? Did you see on the far, well, on TV, it was on the far wing.
On the members' side, on our side, yep.
Yeah, it might have been, it was either, I don't know, because from a distance, they kind of nearly look the same. Correct me if I'm wrong. Berry or Dunkley had the ball.
Oh, Berry. Yeah, right? Yeah.
And they got similar haircuts. So
yeah.
Right? He had it over there. There was nothing for him down the line. Levi Ashcroft, out of nowhere, makes a run to go over there, make the space, they're out. Right? No one went with him. No one knew he was going to do it. Yeah, that's up here. That's a footy IQ. Yeah, we don't have footy IQ. I think the closest person at this stage that shows any type of footy IQ is Silvani. Right? Yeah. That's for me. Just my opinion. He's the one that shows the most footy smarts. Again tonight, when Brisbane, how Brisbane were playing around with it, getting a bit fancy with the handballs and pulling it off, mind you, because they're good enough to do that.
Yep.
How many times through the middle did we butcher chances to move it through the middle into the 50? We got caught holding the ball multiple times, right? We had the numbers in the middle of the park.
Just not
but we don't have the understanding as to what to do when we get there. It used to be we don't have a clue what to do when we get into 50. We still don't. We don't have a clue what to do entering 50. Now I see tonight that we're getting to the middle of the field because we tried to go through the corridor a few times, and we're getting caught in the middle now because they're all like, "What's next? Do I handball it? Do I kick it? Where is my next player?" We have no freaking idea. That's what it was all night tonight.
What about there's
on
no
top
voice?
Of that, why? Sorry,
you should come to the game, right? And there was no one there at the game tonight. Like the 32,000,
it was empty,
right? It was empty, right? You can hear the Brisbane players screaming. Yeah. Carlton players are voiceless. Like they got no voices, mate.
100%.
Like you should be able to hear them screaming. There was one part where we had a kick in, and there's Carroll free. Like no voice though. He's got his hands out and he's not screaming at the kicker. I think it was might have been Cowan or McGovern that kicked it in, turned it straight over. Like it went straight. We kicked the long bomb again, came back in. They kicked the goal. Then again, it happened with Wiedering, but he's not screaming for it. Like I was screaming Wiedering, like you could hear it out. Like I was screaming. Like how can you not? And then there's these little things in the first quarter. Sorry to cut you off. Train of thought.
On that, you know what's a worry? We can get a new coaching panel. We can get a head coach. We can get assistants. We can get forward coaches, defender coaches, all that sort of stuff, right? They can teach them to kick. They can teach them the handball. They can teach them a system. You know what they can't teach them? Passion, heart, respect for the jumper. You can't teach somebody. I mean, this is debatable for me. It's not. You have to want to call out to your mates what you were just describing there. You have to want to do that. You have to show the initiative from training through to the pitch, right? That's how you're going to operate. You can't teach certain things like that. It has to come from the player.
See, I disagree, bro, because I think you can teach that, and I think it comes from leadership. Right?
I understand.
It's learned. It's learned behavior, right? So when you step into a system and you're a young kid like a Carroll, if you see your elders, the more experienced players, not screaming, not yelling, not chasing, not doing that, the standard is already like you don't know that that's the standard. It's what you can see is the standard, and that's the cook thing. That's why I see a player like Ollie Hollands coming in, who might not be the most skillful, but he's easily the most intentional footballer we have. Right? He's the only one that fucking runs, gut runs all games, and you can say Akers too, but Ollie Hollands is that gut runner, bro. He's not the most skillful, and he does get caught out a few times, but he tries, right? And I think
At least he's got intent.
yes, and that's the thing. That's why I said he's the most intentional footballer on our list, right? And that's why I think saying it's not, you can't teach that. I feel like it's just learned behavior.
Yeah.
You telling me,
From
bro,
when?
that every single kid that goes into Collingwood's system
Yeah.
knows what to do? Nah, bro. They're learning from the
Culture
best.
based.
Yeah.
Culture. Exactly. It's that word. It's that word that just hangs in the back of our heads, right? And in every conversation we have about our team, it always falls on culture. And we've allowed the culture to just be swallowed up by what's the word I'm looking for? Like self-serving players,
Entitlement.
Yeah.
self-serving
Self-entitlement.
coaches, self-serving board members. Everyone is self-serving, bro. No one's worried about their teammate, their next mate,
Nah.
the next member, the next
Never.
coach. So everybody is just scrambling to save their spot.
There was a
And
prime
that's
example.
just culture killer.
I agree with you. Sorry, when you put it that way, I agree with you. Yeah, you get taught how to call to your man and call for the ball and look out for your man and stuff like that. That's fine. Look, I'll put my hand up. You're right with that.
Yeah.
The only rebuttal I'd have to that is that they're taught that when they're in juniors, when they're 10 years old. You should be able to bring that through to AFL, and that shouldn't even have to be spoken about at AFL level. If you can't call out you're hot to Matt Carroll twice, right, or one to be fair, all right, okay. For me, that's beyond fundamental. That's just communication, you know.
Culture, bro.
What you said is spot on. It does come down to that as well, because culture comes. That's part of the whole thing. Looking out for your fellow man, I guess, or your teammate, however you want to put it. But
there was one play, as an example,
Yeah.
talking about that. There was one play in the first quarter. If you go back to it, it was Matt Carroll was trying to pick up the ball in our D50, right? And they're two young kids, right? But this is where it comes down to learning and your teaching at the club and what are they doing? Where Matt Carroll's gone to pick up the ball, but O'Farrell hasn't said, yeah, your ball, Carroll, and then laid a Shepherd. What he's done is he's just watched it unfold, and three players converged on Carroll, turned the ball over, and see you later. Yeah. And they kicked the goal from it. So it's like little examples like that. They're just two young players. I'm not going to put it on them, but I'm putting that on the leadership. I'm going to Wiedering. Why haven't you said to him, like, gone up to O'Farrell and put a Shepherd? Yeah. Play for your teammate. They don't play for each other.
They don't run for each other. They don't play for each other.
Well, they don't care about each other.
No. Bro, you're absolutely right. When we watch teams play against us, and I said this the other night on our show, I was like, we always talk about how easy other teams make it look, but I swear to God, man, other teams just work so much harder for each other that it looks easy. You know what I mean? Like, bro, they've got a player on, in the back pocket. 3 players will give him 3 different options, just running to the next spot.
100%.
And when 2 of them don't get the ball, they keep fucking working, they keep running, and the ball movement just looks easy. Yep. We don't have that. We don't have anybody working hard for anybody.
Absolutely not.
They also make each other look like fortune tellers because they can tell where each other are going to be before they're going to be there.
Yeah,
we don't have that. They don't even have to look up. They can kick to a spot and there's a player there because they just know.
Do you know what that is? That's a cross between system and footy smarts.
And trust. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And another thing, because Paul went down to training last week, and the one thing he said to me was there was no voice. So they weren't talking to each other. And the other thing he said, they were missing each other in targets and nothing was said. Like nothing was said. You know what I mean? And again, I've said this before. Vinny Catoggio said that in the 70s, when they were training, if they had to step to the left or right a meter, that was a bad kick, right? And so then you look at that, right? And you look at it on the field and what's happening on the field. They're missing targets. There's no voice because we heard it tonight. First of all, there was only like 20 people at the ground, right? There was no one there, right? You could hear them. There was no voice. And the second thing is, someone said it in the chat, in the box, every time they go into the box, Boss he's just staring out into the blitz. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. If he's not getting animated, if he's not doing, what do you think the players are? And one more thing to your thing, Bo. Yes, you learn these things as a junior. You learn a lot of things as a junior, right? But when you get to senior, I'm telling you, if you start being lazy, and if it starts to be infectious, and you start to become lazy yourself.
That's if you
Don't
let it if
be
you let it get away with it. But we enable the behaviour. We enable it. We enable it. We allow it.
If you want to see that, you talk about animation of Voss tonight. I saw a couple times that he was animated. Hewitt got caught holding the ball. He had a laugh.
Really?
Matt Carroll got caught holding the ball. He had a laugh. He was smiling. He was laughing. It wasn't even just a grin or something. He laughed.
But is that more a laugh as in like fuck, like seriously, like
Yeah,
are they fucking real?
Yeah.
And I did think about that, but do you know, to me, that just looked like he was giggling.
yeah.
That wasn't like a,
That's how
are
it
you
comes.
fucking kidding me, right? That wasn't like a that. This looked like he was laughing to me. I thought, what the fuck is funny?
He's probably losing his mind, poor bloke.
He probably
Yeah.
is. He
Probably
probably
going
is.
a bit loopy.
And look, he's got every right, I guess, but so do many others. But I just, there's a lot that needs to be changed. I mean,
They leave a lot to be desired every week.
the one last thing I'll say on Voss is I saw a comment earlier that said, just sack Voss now, put Hamill as the caretaker, and look for a new one for 2026. Whoever's calling for Voss to get, whether you want Voss out now at the end of the season, whenever, you're just Voss out, right? Which I am as well. I don't think he's the right guy. Okay. If you sack him now, this season is not going to change.
Yeah, correct.
Right? You may as well just let him see out the season, right?
I think it's a new voice. It's just a new voice. I think they're stale. They don't respond to him anymore.
But so then people are still, to me, that means people are still accepting that we can get something out of this season. Or I mean,
But we can. Of course we can.
There's always something to get out of it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I feel like, all right, finals, we're not. That's out of the equation, right?
No,
yeah.
But you still have to play 6 games, right?
Yep.
So the things you do take out of the rest of the season is let's build small, good habits. Let's just build little wins, bro. We don't need to come out and win every game. We're not capable of that right now. No. So let's set ourselves small goals, small, just good habits that we can take into the preseason, build on that, and go into 2026 with a little bit, just a glimmer that, hey, we finished the back end of last season, fixing ABC. We still need to work on XYZ, but you can't just tools down with 6 games, 7 games to go and think there's nothing left to play for. I feel like
there's going to be no one left in the stadium next week.
We've got to turn the narrative to positive.
My main point was that for me, whether it's Voss or somebody else, I think the outcome is the same for the rest of the season.
No, but the thing
absolutely.
I'm not saying there's nothing to play for in general. I'm saying in terms of the season being over for finals, yes. But my main point is that whether we have Voss at the helm now or we sack him and get a caretaker for now and through to the end of the season, for me, the only thing that would change is that maybe someone has a different mindset in order to give Lemmy a go, in order to give other guys a go and bring the Campos in and whatever else. Maybe that's the only thing I can see changing. Other than that, whether it's Voss or someone else, the rest of the season doesn't change much. Yes, there are. I agree with you. There are those little wins and stuff, but it doesn't matter who's there.
I think you need a pressure release, and that's what's going to happen with the club. It's going to get to a point where the pressure is going to be way too much. Getting rid of the coach is the only way they will get a pressure release. And then even if you keep losing for the rest of the year with another coach, that's acceptable then. Because then you go, you've got the caretaker. And I agree with you. Getting rid of Voss right now is not going to make a difference, right? But I think that the club will have no choice. Mate, another heavy loss and you're done. And we're playing Melbourne next week. We're lucky to get 10,000 people there next week.
Can I ask a
just say
question
the
then?
super chat? Sorry, just before
Yeah,
you
go on.
Enzo Valentino, thank you very much. Mens sana in corpora sano. We are fucking hopeless. That's what it
Got a
equals.
sample.
Can I ask a question for
I
everyone
need
to
to
answer,
that.
and I'll kick back. Which round, if at all you think they're going to sack him, if you don't think they're going to sack him by the end of the season, you don't have to answer. But which round do you think he goes?
Next week. Next week's probably the only big game we could potentially get a win. I don't think we're going to win another game for the rest of the year. No, Melbourne could be the one. I don't think if he doesn't win that one, he's done. That's my opinion.
I'd,
I think it just depends on what kind of losses we have now. You know, if we get some honourable losses, it'll keep saving him a little bit. But I think another big one, man, they're coming after him.
I'll be surprised if he makes it through this weekend.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See, I'm completely different, guys. I don't know. I thought about it over the last few days. I actually think that he's going to coach next year.
Nah, you've been drinking your own bloody urine.
No,
Not only bath water, you've been drinking your urine, mate. If you think that he's going to be there, you are absolutely off the mark. There is no chance.
I reckon the changes that Graham Wright so-called going to make are going to be completely different to what everyone's thinking.
No
way.
No
way.
Yeah, Graham Wright won't have him next year.
He didn't want him at Collingwood, man. He's not going to want him here, mate.
No, I know that, but look, you've got to also ask yourself, like, in regards to the Magic August 15, right? There's no guarantees as well, too, that Longmire and Simpson and the rest of them all want to come. And
I don't want them. I don't even want them.
No, but that's all our so-called supporters. They're all the names that are being bandied out. Like,
well, they're the names that are just obviously available.
I don't want them. I want them to do the process and do it properly this time and take the advice of the committee, mate. That's what I want.
Morris, you know what? I got a question for you, right? So if you think he's going to remain, right? Say he does, right? Then what about the players now? They don't play for him now. You think they're going to play for him next year?
That's right.
They've down. You can't. 22 players are down. Well, not all of them, but you know, all of your senior heads. Like you got Charlie Curnow out there. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but Graham Wright's got the kahunas to move Charlie Curnow on.
Maybe not. But I'm saying, like, there's a lot of players out there that I just don't think.
Yeah, and I could be right. None of us know, yeah?
None of us do. None of us do know.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, because...
Do you want to keep him?
Ooh.
I want to know what's out there.
Assistance-wise?
And I'm a firm believer as well too, right? So if we get, I don't know, like I'm not going to go Longmire or Simpson. I'm going to go Hayden Skipworth. Right?
That's what I'm going.
All right. Let's go and look at someone like that. Do we put him in with the assistants that we've got?
No,
because
all brand new.
Absolutely not.
Okay, then what assistants are we going to be bringing in? Because I'm looking at but I'm looking at if
Bonnie Blue,
I don't know.
Mary,
the
crystal lady, I reckon we need the crystal lady in there.
I actually saw Mary and Snapper having dinner tonight.
No way.
Yeah, no, they were having dinner.
Nah, but like you don't know, like, and what I'm trying to say, I sit on the fence with Voss, right? I just think he hasn't been given the full ammunition, right? He hasn't been given all the tools. Okay, so like we give Charlie excuses that the delivery into the forward lines no good. He's pre-done with pre-season and all of that. Voss hasn't got the right people around him as well, too, right?
But he looks like he's given up.
Do you think?
Yeah, he sits there laughing.
Yeah.
He sits there on the stairs, like in the coach's box. Just sits there.
He's
Does he
also
have
done the
it in
same
himself
thing
to
at two
G them up?
clubs. He did this at Brisbane as well.
I
I
think
love
you know-
Michael Voss, but he had the same shitty win streak, win-loss ratio at Brisbane.
I think it's
I
a
said
bit
this
better
last
at
year.
Carlton. I think just a little
Yeah,
bit.
but
I said
It's
this
not-
last
it's not-
year, mate.
Yeah, it's
He
not
should
by much.
not have.
So,
He should not have walked off that fucking ground in that final.
Final, I agree.
Should have been sacked at quarter time.
That was
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Should have
60 to
been
zip.
fucking sacked.
60 to zip.
I
You don't
agree.
last.
Ryan
You
Cook
don't
should have
agree with that.
fucking walked up to him and said, "Mate, thank you for your service. Now fuck off."
I agree with that.
Simple. But we're a nice club. We know we don't want to sack coaches anymore. This that.
That's
So
right.
for me, if you've decided to sack him at the season's end, you might as well sack him now, because you're just wasting time now. What are you doing? We did it with Teague, where you wasted the last 5-6 weeks of that season. Instead of getting someone, just let the players enjoy themselves for 5-6 weeks and try to build those little positives. We went through fucking hell with Teague in the
we
end.
need something. Yeah.
Like just
You know what else, Andy? If you get rid of him now, right? We can start the process now
Exactly.
before
Exactly.
everyone else to look for another coach.
Exactly.
Don't wait a year. Like,
I think
let's start it now.
I think they've
Exactly.
already I think he's already started looking, to be honest.
I
say it.
think it's quite.
He's
it
very-
feels like
he's
I've seen
very-
it many times that
He's
looking.
very proactive, Graham Wright.
And I reckon
you don't
on
get
all
to where you are.
fronts.
Huh?
I just don't know how he stays. I can't justify how he actually stays. You
Let me
can't
just
cop
read this one
losses
out.
like
Give
that.
me-
What's he
Sorry, bro.
showing?
Paul, there is no credible argument to keep Voss. He's shown game plan evolution. Wait,
He's not shown.
I
He-
reckon
I
he's
think he's missing a knot there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not shown any game plan evolution. I'll correct you, Paul. I'll do your correction as you do to me. He has a millionaire facility at his disposal, resources everywhere, and has not evolved his team at all. I agree.
Yeah, I think the cop out is the board, and yes, the board need to be held accountable. But bro, we were told he wasn't a tactician. It's 2025. If your head coach isn't a fucking good tactician, you're fucked. Simple.
Yeah.
It's
You got to
just
be
simple.
proactive. You got to be on the go. You've got to
100%,
be
and
able
we're
to
just-
evolve. We've been stale for 3. Now let's be honest. Like, you get that first year and go, all right, okay, beautiful. Now what's next? And now what's next? And then you just go, what has been next?
The
Well,
honeymoon
it's always
period's
been,
over.
it's always been a roller
Yeah.
coaster with
Done.
him. Every season has been really, really high and then really, really low, or really, really low and then really, really high. That's not sustainable footy. That's chaotic.
No.
Yeah.
And that's
Correct.
not how you build a good culture.
Yeah. Well, the
So-
culture is chaotic at the club too.
Yeah,
It's fucking
Exactly.
chaotic.
Well, it's a reflection of on field.
Yeah. Correct.
And I've got no problems with letting him go. But I'm a firm believer, because I've seen it too many times, like Rocco has and all of you guys have. I don't trust the playing group to buy into a new coach for their tenure. Like, when the going gets tough, they'll turn their back on him again.
There'll be some
Maybe.
changes made too there.
I think whoever the coach is has to be now. Paul put it in. He beat me to it, but he put it in the chat about Chris Scott. Right now, whether it's Chris Scott or not, I think it needs to be someone with fire in them. It needs to be someone that there's no chance of them not playing for the coach, because he knows how to keep the locker room and he has the fire to motivate them to be players that play for both the coach and the club, to have that passion. I know I said you can't teach it, but you can instill the mentality.
But I think it's someone that's got the balls to push their own thought, because I think Voss has got that passion. He's shown it as a player 1 billion times over. I just think he's too easily pushed over by the powers above him. Whereas the Scott doesn't have that fear.
He gets pushed
Exactly.
over by
There's a
the
no fear.
high-profile players.
we
Mars.
see they put the videos
I'm gonna jump out. Let someone jump in. I'm
Give me
gonna
one
head
sec.
off. I got
Just
work
give me-
tomorrow, boys.
Give me one sec.
Soon that I ask.
It's time to go. Love it.
That's it.
Love it.
That's
Alright.
it.
Andy,
Gents, have a good
thank
night.
you. Legend. I'll speak to you
Take
soon.
care.
Love
Done,
for the
boys.
love.
Everybody.
Have a
Take
good
care.
one. Good night, chat.
Alright.
Hit the like button.
Cheers.
We'll do.
See Andy.
See you, Andy.
Thank you. Let me get
To me, there is nothing inspirational about the backroom stuff we've seen from Voss. You see team talks, you see motivational speeches, and so on and so forth. To me, it's like a kindergarten teacher speaking to the pupils. There's nothing inspiration about it. It's just babying throughout the club.
I agree.
The club
I
does
agree.
it as well. They do it from the top. We need someone that's going to go put a firecracker under their ass and go, here's what's going to happen. And if you do it, we're going to start winning.
Yep. I've got another one. I've got before you go, I've got a special guest as well. So I'm going to have to pull the.
I'll jump
Soon
in.
that I ask.
It's time to go.
I'll jump out, but I want to ask one question.
Yes, go.
One real quick one, and this is, I'm going to sound really naive here, but I want opinions from this group. That incident where Lockie Cowan ran into the umpire ran into Lockie Cowan.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate.
Why isn't play stopped?
That's
Why
a
is
ball
it
up.
stop the
It's a ball
ball,
up.
ball it up?
Everyone was expecting a ball up.
I couldn't believe that was the one thing I lost at tonight, and I'm not complaining about the umpires because they fucking bumped into everybody tonight. They were tripping over all over the place.
Yeah.
Give
That
them
one
credit for that.
incident literally led to a goal. How the fuck does it even have a ball up?
I don't know. I'm just
Is
like,
there
I
a
was
rule around?
perplexed.
Does anybody know? Because I'd love to know the ruling behind
He
that.
probably cop a fine for that.
Yeah, he'll cop
Surely
a
he doesn't.
Lucky.
He won't. It was the umpire's fault. He was running. He ran into him.
The
Yeah.
AFL came out 2 weeks ago. They're hot on player umpire contact.
He should have
they
been
set
the
a
call in the
precedent.
first place. What a dickhead.
Yeah.
He was in a dumb spot, that umpire. But
I mean,
yeah,
it
anyway,
was
that
hard
the-
for him to move out of that area, but at the same time, what he did was completely wrong. I mean, you've got to go the opposite way. Don't go back towards
Exactly.
where there's a player bloody running.
But they'll
But
say
there
the
was-
player
what
should have
happened-
protected the umpire in that instance
Oh.
because he can
But
see
it was
the umpire.
His eyes are on the ball, though. Like,
Correct,
He's
I
looking,
agree.
he's looking directly
Exactly.
at the ball. He's
I
not
agree.
looking at
They're
who's
going
in
to
front of
spin
him.
it in that way. They're going to spin it in that way. You know how the AFL are, and you know how they are with Carlton. Anyway, to get back.
But I get the mistakes there. But fuck, blow the whistle, bounce the
Yeah.
ball, and everything's
Exactly.
fair
Ball
again.
up.
You know.
Should have been a ball up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm
100%.
happy to jump.
Imagine we
throw
lose
me
by a
out.
goal there.
Yeah.
See
I
you,
know.
mate.
All right,
Ciao.
take care.
See you, Mick.
Thanks, Mick. Take
See you,
care.
everyone.
I want to say one thing, and then you can let someone else on as well too, Mars. Right?
Yep.
We talk about coaches and players and that. One of the things that I forgot to mention last week when I was speaking about David Reece Jones, right? And it was a story that he spoke about on game day, and it blew my mind. And he spoke how Robert Walls was coach at the time, and the steward wouldn't give none of the players. And you got to remember, Reece Jones came to Carlton in what, 85?
Yeah.
So came to Carlton, and Carlton were a powerhouse team. Wolsey wouldn't. Wolsey told the steward not to give players their jumper. The only player that got their jumper was Wayne Johnson. All right. 5 minutes before the players had to run out, Wolsey addressed the players, and he said, "Think about it."
Is that just me hearing that?
No, I'm hearing
Wow.
it too.
Yeah.
Wolsey turned around to the players and said, before you put the jumper on, think about whether you want to put it on, what you're representing, who you need to play for, respect it. And I just thought, could you imagine Voss or any AFL coach doing that in this era? And like,
No one's brave enough, I think, to do that.
Nah.
I don't know. Like, whatever.
No. I told you, this team, everything, it just leaves a lot to be desired.
I just think, and like I said, I've got no problems moving Boss on, right? But I actually think that the players need to be made not made accountable. They need fire thrown up their asses, right? In regards to like, and I'm only naming names, right? So if TDK walks and they turn around and say, Harry, you're on the table. Sydney, we'll part some of your contract or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's gonna instill to the other players, hey, they're serious. If I don't perform, it doesn't matter what my name is, I'm out of here. So I don't know. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking whatever avenue they go. I want people to not be scared to go to work, but know why they're going to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, guys, once again, pleasure.
Love it, Morris.
Morris, just before you go,
yep,
I'll just let you know that despite how comfortable you might be with it or uncomfortable, there is a market out there to sell bathwater. You could. It's up to you. It's a small business idea. It can grow.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to do it, mate, I'm sure you can make some money out of it.
Yeah.
It's time to
go! Morris, I appreciate it. Again, I'll speak to you
Pleasure,
soon.
boys.
I'm sure we'll be in contact.
See you, brother.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers,
Take
guys.
care. Take care. Thank you, Morris. And we'll add Liam.
Hey.
Let's just say hi to Liam. Liam,
Hey, Liam.
How are you? He's a favourite of the channel. How are you, Liam?
Exactly right, boys. How we doing? Yeah. I've been listening along, been watching your game. It's I thought I'd jump on just give you guys a bit of a break from Carlton, but I just want to ask a couple of questions while they're still fresh on my head, and then I'm just going to go to bed because I'm getting a bit tired. I'm off to go watch the boys train tomorrow. Watch a good team. So I'll start.
We're getting bantered by Richmond, bro.
By Richmond.
Getting fucking bantered by Richmond, bro. I'm about to jump through the.
You guys remember round one, don't you? You remember round one?
Yeah,
I just said yesterday he was the most polite person on the channel.
That game was
dishing this shit up.
We made it into a monster.
That game was the beginning of the end when we lost that.
Hit us, Liam. Hit us.
All right. The first one. So I know you guys were kind of chatting about it a bit earlier about the Bronx cheers for TDK, but just on what Kane Corn said when I was listening, he said something along the lines of Carlton fans are wrecking his confidence and they're contributing to his form issues. What do you guys think of that? I thought it was a pretty shit call.
He's a fucking cockhead. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's a dickhead.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right?
Wait. Who's the cockhead? Kane Corns or TDK?
Both. Now let me get up to TDK.
I knew you were going to say that.
I looked at him all game. He was jogging, he was walking, he was laughing with the Brisbane supporters. No wonder people booed him or jeered for him. Like, we don't want to play like that. Like, he clearly has checked out. And
he checked out weeks ago.
I'm sorry, if you don't want to play, then just say that you don't want to play. Just go to the reserves. Don't waste anyone's time.
No, don't even go to the reserves. Just go to the
day. Stay at home.
Just go to the day spa with Charlie Curnow and Ed Curnow. Stay down there, catch another fucking wave at Bells Beach or Torquay or wherever the fuck it is. Go on the Great Ocean Road. Go see the 12 Apostles. That's now 5, and piss off.
Take a breath, Marzi.
I don't want a player in our club who just walks around for the sake of it, just not walking fucking injured, and then laughing with the opposition supporters. Fuck off. Like, go to St Kilda if you want to go that bad. For fuck's sake.
I don't know how
agree.
you
I haven't really noticed. I haven't
Aiden,
really
can you
noticed him
just
being checked out.
Aiden, can you just tell us what you really think?
If he wants a job in the morning.
I've actually not
No,
worked.
I reckon last week for me, like I hadn't really seen
think he's
a checked out TDK for me until last week. That was where I saw clearly that he was checked out. Like I saw him going up for marks, and I said on the emergency meeting, I said he was going up for marks, not really, just half-assed, and you could see it tonight. I mean, it was in the whole team, it was in the whole crowd. Brisbane never really got out of second gear, really, not even first gear. They were just.
What does he think about himself?
He's entitled.
You represent himself as well.
I don't know the guy personally, but you can just see how he is.
Yeah.
He's entitled. He's laughing. I'm going to earn 1.7 million. Yeah.
I know what he was doing. I know what he was doing in the week. I actually know what he was doing. He was filming videos and that and promos and all that stuff. I know that because I work with people that do that stuff. So yeah, he was filming promos and he's got a clothing brand and he's got a beer coming out or a whiskey. And
fucking hell. Since when did he become the greatest player of all time to do this?
I said it on
He's not even the top 10 ruck in the league.
I said it on Rivals. I'm going to say it again. If he goes, who gives a shit? Who cares what he's doing through the week? Who cares how he feels? No. We support Carlton. I don't give a crap. We waited. We've waited since 95, 30 years for a flag. We can wait a bit longer for another ruckman that's half decent.
Can I just say something about this Corns and whatever your name is, right? If that's what you think, if you think Kane, Corns, whatever, who names their kid Kane, right? What in the hell are you?
He's a good wrestler, man. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But what are you talking about? Oh, the fans are making him play like that. How weak are you, bro? How weak are you that you're making me, a dumbass from Reservoir, not play to your potential? Are you serious? Is that where we're at now? We're at applauding. Oh, it's a better effort, and now it's our fault that he's not playing well. Is that where we're at now?
No,
it's our fault.
Rubbish.
It's far out, man. We are absolutely ruined, mate. We are ruined if that is the case now. We're done. We are done, mate. We are done. We are as weak as piss at the moment, mate. We are the social people that next week we got respects round. That's going to be the most important thing. Don't worry about winning.
Is that next week?
Worry about
wait for the post.
Making our $1 million player potentially not play well. You know what? Piss off, because you haven't got the capacity to play in this team. And you know what? Grab those other wankers by the hand and walk out of that club, mate, because seriously, anyone that's doing that should not be playing AFL, mate. What happens? What? You think that me, a dumbass from Reservoir, makes you play well? Wait till you get some bloke on the field who comes in your face and wants to kill you. What are you going to do then, mate? Like, come off it, man. This is ridiculous.
But
I don't know
even
how
during those
coming in the faces and stuff, though.
What's that?
Even during those
I don't
kicks
know about.
too.
Oh, go on.
So go.
No, I was going to say I don't know about blokes coming in your face and stuff. That's a bit weird. But...
a bit much. Yeah, a bit much.
I thought it was a bit hot, but all right.
I was waiting to say that too.
What else you got for us, Liam? I know you got another one.
I do. Just on that TDK stuff. Just to finish, it's clear for everyone watching that he's checked out. But like Rocco was saying with that stuff about Kane Corns, like we get upset as fans watching someone like that, and I know you guys must be thinking like, see, because you can see he's checked out. He's playing for St Kilda. He's already in his head. Because I had the same thing last year with Bolton. That's why I was pissed off when he left, because I watched him near the end of the season. It's like, you're not trying, man. You don't want to be here. You're already going back home. You're already going to WA.
Especially when the club's not performing.
And as fans, of course we're going to get upset. Of course we're going to be fired up. It's natural to react. So But as we all know, Kane Corns, he's a bit of a flop. So we don't really have to listen to what he says. The next player I wanted to ask you about is the new donut man, Charlie Curnow. What do you do with him?
Dreams himself. He
Because
should
I
be a
was
fucking
watching him a little bit
ambassador.
tonight, and when he goes up the ground, he's good. He gets up the ground a bit more. He takes some marks. He uses the ball pretty well. Is that the key now? Do you be like, go play up? Like we did it way back when with Richo. We put him on the wing for a season. He played really well. Do you guys do something like that for the rest of the season with him? Do you put him on the ball?
I just think that he really misses Harry.
Back,
To be honest.
drop him? What do we do?
Breaking up.
Liam's got Mark's internet again.
Yeah, actual. He's genuinely our fucking forward line disconnected. Go again, Liam. Sorry.
Bit better now, yeah.
Oh boy. I don't know what you missed, but yeah, I was basically just trying to say, I'm like, do you put Curnow further up the ground into a different position and let him play there and use his other assets?
Carlton,
or
there's no other forwards in the
do you
forward
drop
line,
him? Do
though.
you say, like, you're our key forward and you haven't kicked a goal for a month?
I'd play him on the wing.
Tough.
We don't have the skill to leave him deep forward. We don't have any. We can't do
I was
that.
about to say that. That was my next line. Yep.
The thing that I don't get about him, apparently he comes first or top 5 in like whatever running shit they do in the preseason. Why can't we play him on the wing? Doesn't he have to tank? If he can do that, then he has to tank, surely.
I think he does have the.
He comes up the ground. He's got no one to kick
He was up the ground more than he was inside 50, that's for sure.
Did you see there was one point of the game where it was before halftime and we've gone forward and we've kicked it to fucking Motlop and Fogarty. And I'm going, where's Charlie?
It happened
Like
to
where he was.
He
He's
was
at
around
fullback.
and he's
Saving the
on
game.
No one's there.
We're 30 odd points down and he's playing a fullback. Like,
My number
no
one
wonder
pet
why
hate. That's my number
sometimes I
one
look
pet
at Charlie and he just looks like he just doesn't want to be out there. He'd rather be selling his fucking beer.
It's fucking
I
root
think
bands.
it's part of that, Liam. I think it's part of our game plan too, because as you know, like we've talked about it before, man, we put not only 18, we put 36 players behind the ball always, and apparently we got the best defense, and I think Curnow's just following those directions, and he's going up the ground a lot. And he's picking up his 10 or 15 possessions for the game, But I think it's part of the game plan that he's moving up. So, like, how many times did we get the ball? And it happens week in, week out. We get the ball and then we look up and there's no one there. There's no one there, mate. Like, so I think
that
it's
leads to turnovers too. And they punish us from turnovers.
100%.
That even happened in our back line. Matt Carroll, when he got caught the second time. So the first time was it was hot on the foot. It was a hot footy. The second time where he had time and a bit of space, he looked up in the direction to release the ball out on the outer side, and there was just no one there. So he's gone. He's looked up and he's deer in the head and like, fuck, there's no one there. And he just gets run down. And then at that point, you're just going, well, kick it. But if he kicks it, it comes back, and they probably kick a goal anyway.
That there is where a dump kick is acceptable because there's nothing on it. Just get rid of the damn thing.
I agree. But you know
what are
what
you doing?
Dude, where's the leaders there? No one's screaming at him.
No one said a word.
Every mistake every mistake.
And Mark, remember that bit remember that one where we looked at it and what's our backman there, number 2? What's his name? Bloody
Cowan.
When he had the ball and then Wiedering's flying down the wing into the 50 and he just didn't kick it to him, right? And then he's on his own, and then he kicked along. The ball got turned around, and you were right, Mark. Why didn't Wiedering go up to him and go, mate? What are you doing, mate? Like he's the leader in
not in a demonstrative way, just to tell him, look, mate, do this next time, do that next time. Just so it's like a learning habit. It's all, mate. I'm happy for my leader to go because he's well experienced, he's well traversed in his role. He knows what needs to be done. Mate, it's like letting a kid get away with something all the time and he keeps getting away and getting away. They're not going to know what's right from wrong. Really. Give him a little click across the ears and go, hey, next time do this, next time do that. It's just little things like that.
Even the way we were kicking in the corridor too. The amount of time we tried to use the corridor and they were just baiting us in. Like, you're going to kick it and you're going to turn it around.
100%.
And then when they use the corridor, they would kick to like 2-on-1s in the corridor. And they'd still mark it, or they'd bring it to ground and then get a goal from it. It was incredible. I kept watching the corridor. They were just baiting us in. We
You know,
kick maybe from from half back to half forward. Turnover, good night. They'll transition.
I think it was I think it was Hewitt. I think he got run down in the second quarter. Or was it the first quarter? I think he got run down.
Yes,
I
yes.
heard Cripps scream, and I'm like, oh, here we go. He's going to give him a spray. And then he just stopped and he just started talking to them, started patting people on the back. I'm like, bro, you're the captain, man.
Almost there.
Give him something. It's the
There's a
fourth
lot
time
of
that's happened.
There's a lot of back tapping. A lot of that. A lot of that. Like, it's all right. It's always all right. Sometimes
Yeah, but
it's all right
it's
to
not
just
all
give him
right,
a little
because
bit
how
of
do they
a
learn?
bait.
Sometimes it's not all right. Sometimes it's not all right.
It's not all right
Even-
because, like, with Carroll, I mean, I don't blame him because there should be players around that need to yell out hot and kick it. But as Mars said, Wiedering, just tell him, fucking kick it. Don't.
I think Doherty was next to him at that time, and I'm going, mate, get rid. You know, as a footballer around him, as an elder statesman, mate, you're screaming at the kid, get rid. That means like you're fucking hot, mate. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
None of that. And again, like Paul, I know you only went to like that one training session and it was quiet, but mate, you can see it out on the ground.
It says a lot.
They just don't
It really
talk.
says a lot.
I can hear myself talk louder than they do out on the field. That's bad. In
No,
a
and
even
stadium
got
where
there
there
for
was
each
no
other.
one, that's bad.
I mean, you train how you play. Literally.
Correct.
Exactly.
Even when we got to the 12-point margin, when Durden kicked that goal, I think, was it the second, when he kind of marked in the goal square and they kicked the goal.
Yep.
I didn't feel that we were going to go get another one after that.
No.
You just knew Brisbane were going to be like, all right,
Nah.
let's calm it down. Let's be methodical. And that's what they were. The
After
way
that
they get
goal.
themselves out of tight situations and go from a hot football to a just calm down, and then they'd find something inside 50, incredible. Like, I was amazed by Brisbane today. I don't know, we're not much
Iannella-
shot, but still.
That's it.
I've just got a
Spot
super
on.
chat here. Sorry to cut. Sorry.
No.
Bing, thank you for the $5. Peter Dean used to always fold his Guernsey and hand it back to the property steward because of the respect for the logo. And then we go to this one. Peter V, thank you for the 5. Next week, orange socks and pink frocks for the Battle of the Downhill Skiers at Mount
Oh,
Hotham.
Melbourne fans. Jesus.
The charcuterie boards are going to be out. The
Jesus.
Penfolds wine, the Grangers are going to be out.
Hey, Tuesday, we've got some real good stuff planned, haven't we, Mars? We were
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
we do.
We got
You
some
know,
good stuff.
about, like, there was a stat. I can't remember how much uncontested marks Brisbane had, but could you see the stark contrast in how they kick, as to how they kick compared to us? Whenever we got the
100%.
ball, it's like there was. It was like there was 2 minutes to go in the last quarter, and we just kept rushing.
Spot on.
Meanwhile, when they got the ball, they were calm, they were composed, they laced our players. Like, they're a really smart team. We're not. We're fucking stupid. Sorry, but we are.
I mean, you can look at most teams in the league right now, and we can't come close to any of them when it comes to understanding footy IQ, any of that. The utmost basics are incredibly hard. I said it earlier, we work 10 times as hard for a goal than what any other team does. And it's so frustrating. But they're saying that when Durden kicked that goal we got within 12 points.
Oh no!
Was it within 12 points when Durden kicked
points,
the goal?
Yeah. 2 goals, yeah.
Oh, Scotty
Yeah.
said 64 uncontested possessions Brisbane had. I'd love to know what we had.
Can I just stop you all there? The first time appearance for Mad Dogs.
This could be
Mark,
anything.
how are you?
Hey guys, how are you all?
How are you?
Man, haven't seen you for ages, mate.
Sorry? You just
Haven't
cut
seen
out
you
there.
for ages. You went into hiding there, did you, for a while?
Actually, you know what, Rocco? You took the words out of my mouth there. Yeah, you could say hi.
Wait up, he cut out.
He's on mute.
We've lost Mark. We're going to lose him again. Go again.
They're censoring him. They know what's coming.
You're going to do the Terry. You're going to do the Terry. Mark. You there? Terry, yeah, you there?
You there?
I can't hear.
Hello?
Echo.
They censored him. They got him. Soldier down.
Must be the orange lighting. Must be the orange lighting.
If you say I pledge allegiance to the agenda, they'll put you back on.
You say,
Mark, rejoin, and then I'll kick you, then rejoin. All right, go.
Paddy Kinsley got to
Ding.
Oh, mate, they got a job for life.
Rocco's throwing gang signs now. It's really hit rock bottom.
Oh, Mark?
You know what I want to do, mate?
Nah. Wait up.
I was looking forward to that. That's a killer.
He's given us a piece. I think he's.
Go
given
now.
us-
2 minutes.
Undertaker.
2 minutes.
There we go. There we go. You're
Oh,
in.
you got
The
it?
phone's gone
You're
off.
good.
It was the light.
Put the light back on. You're good.
You sure?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good. We're sure.
Jesus, that was bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, I was just recently on
Priestley just tapped in. Go.
I was just on the fan cams before with Terry, so I was on double duty.
Oh, you're on the double. He's double dipping tonight. He's double dipping.
Good to have you here.
Well, could have been tripled, but nah. Look, I mean, I think we all heard it pretty clear from what was it, Nick Webb with the berating of Blake Acres. Well, I just basically was with Terry before. Basically, my view about Tom DeConning, another bloke that couldn't care any less as well on the $20 million monopoly money that you're trying to obviously run riots on. So, and then what is it? What's it need another 6 more games to get to 100 games?
I wouldn't give him it.
I
wouldn't give him
How
it.
awkward's that going to be, though?
I'd say
That
we
100
drop him
game?
next week.
Me
I say we
too.
drop
I
him
wouldn't
next
give him
week.
his 100.
I would have dropped him after the Adelaide game. Adelaide earlier in the year at the Adelaide Oval, I would have dropped him. That was the worst
Hey,
performance I've ever seen by a ruckman in my life.
Yeah, fair enough. How's this for a funny fact? Pinnet's got more goals than Charlie has in the last month.
Very good. Very good.
Oi,
very
make
good.
sure. Oi, I heard. Oi, Mark, have you got the 7-Eleven app?
No, why?
I heard if you download it and you put in the code word Curnow, you get 4 Krispy Kreme donuts for free. That's what you get. That's what you get, brother.
Well, basically, I've got one near my work, and
Then make sure you tell them Curnow. They'll just give you 4
Hey,
packs.
they can do-
And we've
Or
actually
donut.
got another 7-Eleven near home as well, so they're just coming at left, right angles at this.
Yeah,
left,
don't
right,
drop
centre at
it.
the moment.
Did you go tonight?
Like the idiot that I am, but I was with a mate, so look, I mean, you know what? Does it really matter if you go, you don't? I mean, it's only one person. It's not like there's 30,000 of your own individual self. I was like, could I just say, was everyone shocked that it was over 30,000 tonight?
32,000.
No
yeah,
way there's that many.
I'm telling you, I reckon they've forged the numbers again. There must have been those $5,
100%.
$10,
Well,
$5,
I
$10
found out
tickets for
tonight.
sure.
I was speaking to someone at Marble, right? Working behind the bar. Quite knowledgeable, this person, as I get in my beer. And they told me what they do is they give away thousands of tickets. Now, once they give away those tickets, regardless if they go or not, they are added in the tally.
Okay.
Oh, get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
They must have given away
And that makes
7,000 today.
complete
Then.
sense because last week and this week, the numbers are no way correct.
No.
Nah.
Bro,
I
there
wanna say-
wasn't more than 25,000 there.
No
No
way.
way.
No way.
I was going to say at least maybe 27, 28, and that's probably being generous. But
That's pushing
surely,
it.
I said to myself, 30,000 less, surely.
I could have had a chat with Paul across the. He was in the AFL members, and I could have had a chat with him. There was no one there.
No one there, mate.
From where I sit, there was another Brisbane
was
cheer
empty.
squad at the top next to the board.
Fuck.
How
And I'm
about
making
that?
more
It was
Have a
very
good one.
patchy. From what we could see, it was very patchy.
I want to say after the game
It's patchier than my
it was
fucking hair, bro. That's how patchy it is.
Hey,
on the
Mark,
Channel 7
what do
post
you
game
reckon
after the
now?
game.
I saw you on fan camps last week or the week before, man, and you brought out the medals, mate, and you won a few.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
won a few trophies yourself, mate.
The
So,
action indoors.
mate, I don't care if it's action. I don't care, mate. A win's a
It's a
win,
winner.
mate. The only difference is the crowd. That's the difference, mate. You win, you win. I just want to know, What's going on, mate? Like, seriously, how can they not want to win that fucking trophy, mate? Like, what is wrong with these players?
Hey, you saw my $200 in cash, mate. They
I
sniffed
saw
and
that
snorted
too,
when they
mate. The
lost
way
the
you were like, you look like
They
bloody,
snorted.
you look like
That's Elijah
Starface there,
snorted
mate.
it.
You were pushing the
I thought you
money
was
out.
Kano Mac for a second.
Hey, they're snorting the cash as well. They're snorting the cash, Rocco, Robbo.
Zach, what were you going to say?
On Channel 7 after the game, they had Hodgie was on the post game with Hamish McLaughlin, and they were interviewing Jared Berry, and they asked Jared Berry, what's it like to have Hodge be at Brisbane? Like, what was that like as an experience for you as a player? And he goes, Hodge held us accountable on and off the field. And that's exactly what Mars and what everyone on this channel has been saying for God knows how long. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I've never seen like someone speaking that way about a player like Hodgie to come into a club. Like, you can't deny it anymore. That's what we need. The fact that we've got to this point, that's what we need. Like the word accountability. Are they really being held accountable if we're getting dead games? How are we getting games?
You know what Mars said? I think it was Jumper Punch when we lost to Collingwood. He said we should get these specific players: Gunston, Bruce, and someone else. One of them or two of them, we would have done. It would have been, and Parker as well. If we got all three or even one of them, you would have seen a massive difference in this team.
I just want one.
So do I.
It just changes the vibe. It changes the vibe.
Get one in, that's it. But
because they know what it's like to win.
He can be aphid, he can be part of it. Has to be.
I heard Luke Hyde was playing.
Like Cripps doesn't know what it's like to win on field. He doesn't know.
No,
he doesn't know. He's got no clue. He thinks he does.
But it's instilled on how to win off the field.
I heard Hodge was playing some third grade cricket a few years ago, and one of the young kids who was only like a teenager stuffed up and he berated him. He berated him.
Well,
this is what I mean. I mean, you get out there and, like you should. What do we keep saying? Times may change, but standards must remain the same. And our standards have dropped below par. We are the worst team in the competition.
If you look at North Melbourne, they've got Parker, Caleb Daniel, and the other one.
Jack Darling.
Yeah, I guarantee you now they'll be perfect for the next few years. I guarantee because they've instilled how to win, what it's like to play in big games. They're going to be fine. I guarantee.
Not even that too. It's just everyday standards, I reckon. It's just everyday standards. What are you doing at training? What are you doing on a day off? What am I doing a few hours before game day? How am I preparing mentally for stuff? It's just that. And then it gets to what you're saying as well. Game day, the big games, because, they'll get there eventually. And when we're in the big games, which you can pick out God knows how many, there's just nothing there. And you can just feel it. You can feel it in the crowd and the players can feel it too.
I'm going to do one thing just for now. Just going to, and then I'll get you back in later.
It's time to go!
All right, Rocco, I'm going to substitute you out for another elder statesman, and then I'll sub you back in.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. Get out.
Relax, Claude. Jesus.
Get the dog. Get the dog.
Shelby.
Get the dog.
Shelby.
Oh,
hey,
yes.
boys.
How are you?
Big V.
Piss Rocco off. We've had enough of Rocco.
So you're an upgrade.
The Messiah, Vince.
How you going, fellas?
The Messiah.
Oh, we're good.
Good, man.
Me? No, mate. No, I'm not the Messiah. I can tell you.
We're coping.
You still are, mate.
If you think about it, the amount of times we needed look at the amount of games that we played in.
I'll be a very naughty boy, but I'm not the Messiah. Have you got me? Have I gone? Have I?
Bit choppy.
In and out.
Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right now. You're right. You're good. Yeah, go.
Did you get what I just said or not?
Aiden.
No.
Okay.
If you think about it, the amount of games that we needed about on-field leadership, like experienced winners in that team over the last few
Just in
years.
the little moments.
Just even like the Collingwood, the Melbourne, even that Brisbane final, and a
Yeah.
few games I think last year where it just calmed down to cool their heads, it would have drastically changed our season and how we played through our games. Like we don't have not one experienced player that's known for winning.
No, there's no composure. None of those players ooze composure, which is a real shame.
It's the way we use the ball too. The amount of
Yeah.
times I reckon we entered inside 50 from centre wing. Jesus Christ. I mean, come on. Like the amount of times we're on the AFL logo or on the Toyota logo on the other side, and we're entering inside 50 from centre wing. What club does that? Like, I mean, if it's desperation times, I get it. But what club enters inside 50 from centre wing? Not with the prettiest of kicks either, right? You enter inside 50 from round about the half forward mark and you find an option. That's ideal, right? But there was times when it was uncontested on centre wing, we just bomb it. Or
That's
not
why
even
I
bomb it.
said-
It's a nice kick, but it's going to drop at half forward at like 45, 50 meters max. It's not going anywhere further.
That's why I said before we play games whenever we have the ball. Like there's a minute left on the clock in the
Spot
fourth
on.
quarter.
Yeah, spot on.
Every time. And I've actually got a question for Vince. It's about TDK. Because you saw John Elliott and what he was like, what would have he done with TDK? Like at this moment, prior to the season, like
He would have sorted him out weeks, if not months ago, and just said, right, you've got till such and such a date to sign the contract, or we're just going to assume you're leaving. And if you don't sign the contract by that date, you won't be playing in the seniors for the rest of the year. Simple.
Yeah.
And like we're not being salty. I don't think.
Don't say, what are you doing? There's no point asking the question, what are you doing? Are you staying, you're going, you're staying? No, you've got to put a deadline on people and say, that's it. And if you don't give us the answer we want, this is the answer we're going to assume. Right? And then it's up to him. He either wants to stay at the club, or if he's not prepared to commit, well then clearly he's made the decision to leave.
And this is what I was saying at the start of like even the year, and then I had my little give me one second.
Am I crashing out? Hell yeah, I'm crashing out. But I'm locked in.
So when I had my crashing out moment over, like a few weeks ago, right? I was locked in. Definitely, I was fucking locked in, right? But like I'm saying, like sign the contract, mate. If you're not committed at the start of the year to our club and where we needed to go, well then we can't have you on this ship anymore.
Listen, I don't think it's remember TDK last time around, he only extended his contract by 2 years, and they do this deliberately, the player managers, so that at the end of that 2 years, he's literally reached the point where he's a free agent. He can go anywhere. Correct. And, they do it deliberately because they know that by that stage they've played 8 years at the club, they're in their mid-20s, and this is the contract to cash in on. Because no point thinking your body's going to be holding up at age 30 or older. It's when you're 25, 26, 27, that's the time to cash in. And that's always the biggest contracts that any of them will sign, especially if they line up their contracts to expire at the 8-year mark. Right? This was TDK's 8th year at the club, and that puts him in line for free agency. So it's hardly surprising that all of a sudden, the big offers are coming. I don't think he's worth anything like 1.7. And I actually question whether that offer is actually on the table at that amount of money. Sometimes it's the player managers spruik all this stuff, and it's not necessarily true.
Always. Enzo Valentino, thank you for the $8. No need.
Hello, Enzo.
Why didn't anyone remonstrate with Bailey when he smashed into Haynes? That was in the forward pocket. Once again, not out there for their
Charlie Cameron. Even Charlie Cameron, that fucking idiot. You see what he did to Haynes in the first quarter?
Yeah.
He just smashed his neck. Fucking knock out.
What needs to happen there is a player comes across and, a bit of to and throw, and then they get on with it.
Look, here's the thing that I don't
We
get.
don't have that in our team anymore.
The season's
Well,
over.
there's only one actually,
Why would they?
and that's basically
No.
Nick Newman.
Yeah,
Here's the
and
thing
he's
that I
out.
don't get. The season's finished. If you see a player do that to someone, I don't care. Punch him in the face. Get 10 weeks off or 5 weeks off. Just do something. Literally, like we are such a nice club with such nice players. We're too scared to remonstrate. Again, see Newman last year in the elimination final causing brawls. I miss that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You saw it on the boundary line with Doc. He was trying to break people up, and the way he did it, it was like he was going down to plant a flower. He's gone down, and he's just casually gone down and put his hand on the back of the Brisbane player, like, stop that, mate. Even Cripps comes over, and he's just put his hands between the players and gone like this. I thought, mate, you're not opening a tortilla, yeah? Like, give it something.
No, but like, remember
give
when
it something. What are we doing? I don't understand. It's like they've been instructed, to be absolute. Look, I'm not going to say it, but
you know who I think lost a bit of that.
Say it.
You next Tuesday.
Who?
Alex Chincotta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a right. Maybe he's into running games.
But it could be that. But I also think that it's. I don't know. It's maybe he's not playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, but I just feel like he's lost that edge. Like he's always been that player that's on the edge, ready to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, he obviously, who's
very subdued.
Loves the club, but he looks like he doesn't want to be out there. But he does. But he just, I don't know. He's going through the motions sometimes. I think.
Listen, Mary would be very proud, man. She'd be very proud.
He's just towing the line. He's towing the line.
The respect that our players show the opponents every week, she would be so proud. And you know what's so beautiful? When Durden kicked that goal, we were 12 points down, and Mary thought, "Fuck, this is still the moment the Voss is going to take us to a flag." We're
going to win at that point,
We're nearly there.
Scaring, we're going to win.
Get Snapper on.
I just think that internally the club, because they're that nice, they probably say, "Oh no, don't cause any drama on field, keep it professional." I don't give a fuck if you see one of your players, your teammates, get punched in the head by Cameron, because that's what I thought he did, and Zach Bailey and whoever else did it. Do it back.
They're ordering him flowers. Don't worry about it. Oh, sorry for doing that to you, mate. I left some flowers in the locker room for you.
I know he hasn't had a preseason bing as well. He's got no fitness, but I don't know. I just feel like he's not playing on that edge, Chincotta.
Maybe it's because he doesn't have a defined role when he's actually on the field.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying be a tagger every week. I think he's much more talented. But
what is he? But what are they playing him as? Like, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get half the players.
I don't think they know, the coaches.
When he played halfback in 2023, he looked pretty decent.
He's a good ball user.
Yeah.
Good.
And can knock down a man.
I agree. He actually did look decent, but then lost it. Something's not clicking.
Yeah,
the chickens are not clucking.
Clacking.
You know what I mean?
But I don't know. I just we need a holistic change from through every line of the club.
Because if you look at the facts, what we've done now hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Hey, Mars, have you been through any of the stats for tonight?
I don't want to go through the stats because
I reckon
guess what we were. I'm not going to go if it's just marginal, but guess which categories we actually won in tonight. And you watch.
Boss, the contestant ball.
I haven't seen Boss's press conference, but I wouldn't mind betting that he'll point to some of these as being, big wins.
Contestant ball.
Respect.
Contested possessions, 144 to 113.
Clearances.
Well done.
Mind you, guess what Brisbane did with the uncontested possessions?
What,
260 to 196.
Yeah.
They thrashed us on the outside.
Not surprised.
That is an absolute
uncontested marks would be a lot too, I reckon.
What about tackles?
We also had 18 marks inside 50 to their 14.
Most of their goals
we had 45 hit-outs to 40, so that's pretty even.
Tackles.
And clearances.
I like Curnow. I thought he was good.
37 clearances to 29.
Well,
but I can tell you that they actually won the centre clearances.
I've got one. This comes
What
back
about
to our
tackles?
point
And
before.
tackles inside 50. Guess what the difference was there?
Huge.
20 to
Oh,
4.
this would be the biggest one.
15-6. I don't know, something like that.
No, more.
Brisbane 20, Carlton 8.
7.
8.
There you go. Remember I said before we couldn't use the corridor, the amount of times we try to exit from maybe around the centre half back area and they'd swarm the ball carrier.
I'll go through
And then
one
there's
more,
four
Mars.
options. Bang, bang, go.
I'll go through one more, Mars.
Hunting him.
Just because I know you love this particular stat, because we never win it every single week. Disposal efficiency.
Yeah.
Brisbane 76, Carlton 69.
69.
That's a good number, though.
To be honest with you, this is the fourth week in a row where we can see a trend appearing. We get off to a reasonable start most weeks, and then we just fade. And the middle part of the game, the second quarter, third quarter, we just go to water. And then by the time the last quarter starts, the opposition puts the cue in the rack. It's the fourth time in a row. North did it, Port did it, Collingwood did it, and now tonight Brisbane did it. They had a 52-point lead, I think it was, at three-quarter time.
Something like that, yeah.
End up winning by 37. They put the cue in the rack. They didn't even score a goal in the last quarter, Brisbane.
Yeah, but they know, these teams know. Again, as you said, it's a pattern.
You got to keep in mind, and I actually predicted this. I actually predicted this on Blue Sunday last week. I said if they've got a decent enough lead at three-quarter time, they'll just put the cue in the rack.
Yeah, what's the point?
And they're coming off a 5-day break. No, they've already copped an injury with Ainsworth doing his Achilles. He's gone for the rest of the year. So
did he do his Achilles?
Yeah.
I think they change it to ankle.
Okay.
No. It ended up being confirmed as an Achilles tendon injury, and he's gone for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Okay, player.
Yeah.
I think what Seba just said in the chat is spot on about Chincona.
Yeah. Like, let me just go through these super chats. Give me 1 sec. Bing, $5. Thank you again.
Give me 15 seconds, guys.
Go. Yeah. Carlton is full of beta males. They have gone out of their way to pick up nice guys, no mongrel. Or maybe it's PK Chewies.
Spot on the PK Chewies.
Seba, thank you. He got paid this week. Chink is a damn good player. He's had enough. He's had the toughness and edge coached out of him. Also, he had no preseason. Yeah, I agree.
And where does that stem from?
PK Chewies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know who I think's got that grunt in them? It's Cowan, but I have a big feeling they're going to get it out of him. I can tell he's the type of player. Yeah, I can just tell he's the type of player that would go for a player, go for an opposition player for no reason, but he's going to get that coached out of him, and I don't want that to happen.
It's starting to happen already. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's starting to, I'm just noticing little things about him. He's not his free-flowing self. I mean, I know it's hard to be in this Carlton team. Me personally, though, I love Cowan. I just don't rate his disposal. Like, he was taking kickouts today, and I know, again, we don't set up well up the ground, and we didn't all day, but I just don't rate his disposal. But again, I think he's a player that if we persist with in the right position, can be good. Now, the reason I sit in the right position, Ollie Holland, just please go back to the wing. I love you. You're one of my favourite players. Please go back to the wing.
What a disservice that's been to him, to be honest. It's an absolute disservice.
What are they trying to do with him by doing that?
It's actually worsening him as a player. It's making a lot of fans look at him in a worse way, when in reality, he's the one that gives his all every week, no matter what. And like you were saying, he was the only one really that was kind of given maybe a few little bumps here and there.
And I saw a Motlop in the middle again, like for a majority of that game. And then I saw McGovern down back, up forward. Mate, what are these blokes?
I saw Motlop in
We're
the back
supposed to be contending for top 4.
I'll lose it. When I see Motlop down back, mate, what's going on?
I saw Fantasia literally at full back.
Bro, the amount of times I've seen Lockie Fogarty.
Man.
This is what your cousin Paul's been saying, Mars, for a long time. That they talk about, defensively we're doing well. That's because they're flooding the back line with forward pockets and
17 players back there.
And then when they get the ball out, there's no one to kick it to.
Because they're stuffed from defending.
And teams know that, and that's why they killed us on the fast game.
I think Mars mentioned it. I think it was before the half time or 3/4 time. We were in transition. We got the ball, and then someone kicked it, and we had no one up forward, nobody. And you wonder why, because Charlie's down back at fullback, saving the game, even though we're like 45 points down.
Yeah, that was before half time.
And then you got two small forwards up there against Harris Andrews and I forgot his other name, but against two tall defenders. Like, what do you expect?
Not Wilmont. It would
Gardner.
be
Gardner.
Les Gardner.
Gardner?
Yeah, I think
Leicester, sorry. Yep.
Darcy Gardner.
Uninspired. The whole thing was uninspired. You could just
How's
tell.
Wilmont? He's had 31 possessions tonight. Wilmont.
31.
And you got
31.
when you and Paul were doing on Tuesday
Line
night
by
when you were
line.
going through the lineups and that. You
Yeah.
guys got to Wilmot and who was the opposition one that came up that you were doing the two, one Carlton, one Brisbane?
I think it was McGovern, was it not?
Yeah, and I think you guys kind of hesitated on that one, and I'm sitting there behind there going, Wilmot's actually a good player.
No, he's a good footballer.
No. Sorry. To be fair, Marzi, you did say he is a good footballer. He's probably going to become even better, or you said something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Touches.
Fuck.
He's
How
very
the fuck
good.
did he get 31?
31? What the fuck?
And he, you know what? He actually killed us. I'm surprised he didn't win the medal. Who won it? Dunkley.
Dunkley, yeah.
Yeah, Dunkley did.
He was racking up.
Carlton had 31 aneurysms throughout the game.
See, why can't we
You're
use
saying
And injuries.
Go,
And
How
more
many times
injuries.
today? How many times today was the ball? I guess like we'd hand it off at half back, and it'd be Haynes or McGovern kicking it down the line. Like they're not shit kicks, but compared to like surely we've got better kicks to do the job. We've got Matty Carroll in there.
McGovern made two of the biggest disposal errors right at the start of the
I
game
get it.
Yeah.
that I've ever seen. He's such a
fuck it
goose. That hand pass, that left hand pass over the top, turned the ball over. They got an easy goal out of it.
I mean,
You know,
If
They
Carlton
had Sorko,
Marks,
Wilmot,
if Carlton this
Fletcher.
week do not drop McGovern, if they
They
do
won't.
not drop
he's
Fogarty,
injured.
if they don't drop
won't.
Fogarty as well, hey,
they
He's
won't
you
injured.
do
don't
it.
think they'll
McGovern
drop him
apparently.
either?
No.
Hey,
I agree.
McGovern had
McGovern had a
hamstring
hamstring.
tightness.
did
Fantasia
they?
was subbed off.
Yeah.
And
I
I
know
think Zach
McGovern
Williams, I
apparently
think,
got a
too.
hamstring.
All right. Well, then, yeah. Okay. Well, then he will get dropped, not because of form, but because of his injury. I've got one for you, and I'm going to go to our leader, our captain, Patrick Cripps. After half time, he was terrible.
What's wrong with
He had
him?
15 touches at halftime, I think it was, and then he went missing.
Nearly 20 odd.
Nearly 20. Oh.
he finished with
He was
26.
terrible after half
Yeah,
time.
He also kicked
Yeah.
one goal too,
Yeah,
and missed
but
a
he was-
couple
And
of
one was a
really
50
easy
metres.
shots. Yeah,
The goal was a
And he
gimme.
only
I'm not
went-
counting that.
he only went at
You know-
61% efficiency.
I mean, that's him by
Look,
nature. But
if
I
you-
just
if
thought,
you-
where were you?
If you didn't watch that game, if you looked at his stats, you'd probably think he had a pretty decent game, but he played shit after
I
half
didn't really
time.
see him
They
to
were
be fair, and
talking
that's
him up.
really worried.
They were talking him up on Fox Footy like, oh, he's really putting in tonight. He's really trying hard, and he's
Vince,
putting
I'll,
in the effort.
I don't know if you heard earlier, Vince. I said, and anyone else that didn't hear it earlier as well, I said his pre-game showing when they interviewed him prior to the game was weak. That was his
Told
one
the story, didn't it?
opportunity. That was his one opportunity to show some passion. And when they asked him the perfect question. I mean, they led into it perfectly. They said, "What is the goal going out there tonight?" That was his opportunity to go. And I'm not, like I said before, I'm not talking bring out the fireworks and all the rest. And all we got out of him was something along the lines of, we're going to go out there tonight and give it a great effort.
Just
What
the same
the hell is
message.
that? What does that even mean?
It's been the same message. It's just.
Do you know what I mean?
Give it a
And
great
that was
effort.
your
That's what you
chance.
should be-
What
that
is
should
the
be that just
mentality?
should be an unconditional minimum standard every week that you go out there
Exactly.
and give effort.
Exactly.
That's
No,
It's
but
ridiculous.
They've all checked out, Bo. They have. I'm telling you,
I know.
they've checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
But-
they
but
put up a
for
bit
me-
of an
for
effort
me-
a quarter or so, and that's it.
For me, yeah, it's a checkout, 100%. But I also think it's still, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I do every week. But it comes back to
the culture at the club and what is being instilled in these players' brains and how they're telling them to conduct themselves both on the field and off the field. They are soft. It is a soft club. And I'll say it again, we need people with a Roy Keane mentality in there, right, to absolutely overhaul this place so that we become feared again.
Because they've been indoctrinated by the woke
changed,
queer mantra.
That's what it is. There's a few agendas going through there. That's 100%. As long as you respect,
guess where all that stems from, boys?
Look at the initiative that we're going to have next week.
My best friend, PK.
It all stems from the top.
Where does the fish from?
From the head.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. It's an absolute joke. I cannot tell you how much I hate it because I think that this is the one outlet for so many people. And look, you talk about how long you've been watching footy, and you've been watching it a lot longer than I have. I remember being at St Kilda games with my auntie and uncle. They were St Kilda supporters. I remember being at St Kilda games at Waverley Park, sitting in front of the box, right? And I don't know, for those that remember Waverley Park in the chat, you'll remember
in the 90s.
Yeah, you could sit in front of the box at Waverley Park, and I don't know who remembers and who doesn't, but the boxes at Waverley Park, they would open with these like perspex doors,
windows,
right?
doors, yeah.
And you could just listen in to what was going on at the coach's box.
That'd be good.
Whenever there was shit going down with the players, whenever something was wrong, they were getting hammered. And I'm talking, it was proper reprimanding players, right? And the passion and the holding people to account and all that sort of stuff was all there back then. I'm not saying we're living in the past. I don't live in the past. I'm just giving you an example of something that I feel should still be the same now. That type of what I used to hear then was, oh shit, mate, that is fucking footy, man. Like I love that, right? You go to games now and you don't even feel that at Carlton at all. I'm pretty sure you could walk into the club on a Wednesday whenever, right? And you'd feel like you're walking into a bloody day spa and you're about to get pampered by everybody. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? Where is that local footy grunt that we get? I get that at the team down the road. I have to walk 5 minutes to get that.
I've got it in my backyard. I've got it in my backyard.
You're not getting any of that.
You said,
Bo, did you listen to the interview and you know all the media press conferences with the president? The message is, we're here to create a safe environment and an environment where everyone can grow together. You know, it's all of this. We're all in it together business so that no one's held accountable for anything. And
I take it back.
They're soft from the top down.
Correct. And if we go from the top, if I take it back to the strategic plan, which was 22 to 27, and we look at that list, okay? If you look at that list and you look at how, and you were breaking that down from number 1 through to 7, I think it is. If you look at that list and you tell me how much effort has been put in from 1 to 10 on each of those points, from 2 down to 7, you can rate 10. Number 1 just says win premiership, so it has nothing else. Then you have a thesis of shit on the other stuff, right? That number 1 has been 0 effort.
How many?
I feel like it's just there to appease the fans. Just here, like we said a minute ago, look what we're doing it. No,
how many of those initiatives have been? How many of those initiatives have been ticked off over the last 4 years so far?
The ones under premierships, they're going well.
Yeah.
The ones from 2 to 7, from number 2 through to 7, they're smashing it, mate. There is so much respect.
Black caviar,
hot towels, everything. It's beautiful over there.
Well, look at the initiative that we're having next week.
I'd like to personally escort you to the annual general meeting next year.
We're going over there.
Nah, because I keep it relatively friendly here. You ask Marzi what I say through the week. It probably doesn't belong on any show.
No, believe me, you'll fit in perfectly.
Go, Aiden. Aiden, you're going to say something. Go.
I mean, you were spot on about being the club's soft top to bottom. I mean, the initiative that we do every year, it's brilliant, it's great, but I mean, It says it all. Like Carlton
It
respects.
shouldn't
Like,
be the focus. It shouldn't
can't
be
be
the.
exactly. It can't be the priority because it's great and it's life changing to families what they're doing. But we're here to win games of footy and win a fucking
Correct.
flag. Like I care
Yeah,
about
but
what they're doing, but I don't care.
Aiden, don't be fooled. It's all virtue signalling, okay?
Correct.
And it's also providing a distraction to the members and the supporters to make the club seem like, oh, this wonderful club that supports all these lovely
Harmonious.
social justice
We're
causes. Why?
harmonious.
Because they're trying to say, don't look over here where we're failing on field. Don't look over here where we're meant to be winning premierships and winning games of football. Look over here. It's all to distract and deviate from what the main game should be. And that's the problem with our club. They are using a lot of this stuff to distract you, and they're also doing it to try and virtue signal because we're being run by a group of corporate elites. And the nature of corporations today is that they are very conscious about being good corporate citizens in the eyes of everybody. And that's why they champion all of these things, right?
Zach, you were going to say something? Sorry.
No, I was going to say just literally about what you're saying, Vince. If you look at it factually, if you look at it factually, right, you've got the last however many years, let's say before 2000, and you got post 2000. What were we doing before 2000? We weren't doing all this stuff and we were winning.
No.
Just look at it like that. Post then, especially in the last few years, what are we doing? We're doing all this stuff and we're not winning and we're not being consistent. So even if you just look at it factually like that, in just those simple manner, like it's irrefutable. Like you can't keep going down this track and expecting the same results, especially when we've been through more coaches post 2000 than before.
And it says a lot considering how, what's her name? What's that woman's name from the board?
PK.
Paddy
PK
Tinsley.
How she got elevated, how she got elevated as vice president for what? For ticking off the board's
The
stuff.
failing AFLW program.
But that's
For-
not
for-
it failed
No,
so
see,
far.
Now, she
From
was
an
able
on-
to bring a
from an
very,
on-field
very
perspective,
perfect diversity program in, which got her promoted to VP.
yeah. From an on-field perspective, she's meant to be in charge of or overlooking the VFLW, AFLW programs, which are and have been an absolute abject failure ever since she joined the board. And yet they saw fit to elevate her to vice president 4 years ago, joint vice president.
Fuck
right?
me.
And
Yeah, she's co, isn't she a co?
you know, I've read it all again today. It all came out about the next round against Melbourne, the Carlton respects game, promoting gender equality and all this sort of left wing garbage. It's just makes me sick.
I really don't care about that stuff. I want a flag. I've never seen a flag. I don't care about that.
You know
it's
what?
good for the community.
I agree. I just want to win
I want
games
a
of
flag,
football.
please.
Can I clarify something? There is nothing wrong with doing your part for communities and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. We see clubs doing it constantly, right? And when you're in positions of authority and positions of status like that and influence like that, there's nothing wrong with dipping your finger in a couple of bits of the pie throughout the year to do your part. That's fine. But when you make it your main focal point and completely neglect what the hell a football club is about, that's when it becomes an issue.
And now look where it's impacting.
And it is very now that it is 100% impacting. Go to another footy club, Collingwood, any AFL club, go to any of them, go to any of your local teams, walk in there on a Monday and say, what's your primary focus? We want to win premierships. And how many people have you hired through the diversity program? They're going to look at you and go, what fucking program is that?
You know how you said premierships with an S? That's my thing.
I absolutely scroll through every AFL club's
because this is how screwed in the head I am, right? I went through every single AFL club social media the other day to see how many times they post about paid partnerships, sponsorships, diversity, this, blah,
Great
blah, blah,
Southern
blah,
Bank.
all the
Come
rest
on.
of it, and
Get on
how
it.
many
bro.
times
$20
they
vouchers.
post about footy, right? I told Marzi not long ago, it was after June 9th. I don't know who we played June 9th. I can't remember who it was, right?
Maybe
From
Sydney.
that moment until the 12th, in 3 days, right? Sorry, who did we beat just before
Mana goes bang.
on June 9th? I can't remember who it was. We had a win against someone. I can't remember.
Oh,
who
was
it
it
was.
Essendon? The
Essendon.
King's birthday?
Essendon.
Essendon.
That's what
Birthday.
it was, right?
Yeah,
So we'd
Essendon,
beaten
yeah.
Essendon, and from the moment that we won through to either June 12th or 13th, I counted 20 posts about football, 13 posts about everything else. That should not be how it weighs up. And I thought, okay, let me keep going further. I went through to every single social media of all the bloody AFL clubs other than X, because I don't go on there, right? It is so lopsided in favour of footy. It's a joke. It's nowhere near how ours looks at all.
No, we're
So
all
for
about
us to sit here and
partnerships
say that
and
we are a
promos,
corporate club and it's being run that way, we are 100% entitled because the evidence is there.
It's actually so embarrassing. Even today and yesterday and 3 days ago, they posted partnerships about all these shit.
I keep
4 in a
getting
row.
like all these emails about. I don't care what song we're gonna pick. Fuck, we picked.
Oh, that does my head in.
You can win a car.
That does my head in.
Yeah.
By the way,
You have no
Buzz,
shame.
There is
Come
no
on.
king. Where's the
by the way,
king,
Bo,
mate? Where?
you'll be glad to know, Bo, that Paddy Kinnersley is one of 2 people that are apparently on the 8-person board that has football acumen because she played VFLW.
She did.
No, she didn't.
And
No, she did.
and
She did.
yeah, I know.
It was
I'm
on.
just trying to
it was
say
on-
to you that
I have no idea.
she's meant to be. So because she plays VFLW, and if you've ever watched VFLW, you know, honestly,
Especially our VFLW program.
Mad Dog.
Compared to the
this is
winning
not
ones.
even AFLW. This is another rung below that, right? So that's meant to put her in a position of being able to make sound decisions about our football team.
Yeah, of course it is. That the level of what's the word I'm looking for?
There's
the
no football
requirements-
acumen on that board apart from Greg Williams, who, in my view, is
Hasn't
no
even
better
really
than
been
at best a skills coach.
Correct.
He should be out there teaching them how to hand pass and kick. That's about the
Correct.
extent of what he would know about running a football department.
What does he actually do there?
But he's there on hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Because if they didn't pay him, he wouldn't do it.
He sells
is true.
diesel. That's what he does.
What does he actually
All
do?
part of the script. They did the Lion King song to pay respect to Brisbane. It's all part of the script.
Oh my god!
It's all part of the fucking
Surely
script.
you're joking, aren't you, Jacob?
It's all part of the script.
No way.
Fucking script.
Please tell me that's a joke.
Don't fucking tell me that's true.
That is fucked.
Is
I
that
think
true?
it's a
The
joke.
fact that we're even questioning if it's true is really scary, by the way.
Yeah, but that one surprised me.
No.
Because we love respect.
Oh, it's funny.
Love
Look, we're
respect.
playing
We
the Lions
played
and it's
Essendon
Lions.
highlights before our game. With
No.
them.
We played co-highlights. We together.
Yeah, but
What about
it's
the
not-
Collingwood
promo
one?
pack to Brisbane.
Even the Collingwood one where was it? In the Legends Lounge or something?
At the
Right, in the
President's Lunch.
President's Luncheon, they played
yeah.
the Collingwood promo.
Like, get off it, man. You're not even serious
Dale
anymore. This
Thomas.
isn't even a serious club anymore.
Mate, they're taking
This is
the
like watching
fucking
play school,
piss.
man.
We're actually getting pissed all over. We just get pissed all
It
over.
is. What did you say? You said it about a month ago. We're a banter club.
Yeah, we are. We're just
Hello?
That's all we are.
We're the
Yeah,
Arsenal of the
Mad Dog.
AFL. About years
Has
ago.
Mad
That's
Dog,
all
has
we
Mad
are.
Dog gone, has he?
Mad Dogs, where are you?
I think he's still there. I heard
Mad
something.
Dogs, you're black.
It's all
Wait
gone
up.
black.
I think.
On that
it's
note,
on
boys, I'm going to have to jump off.
Wait up.
Am I crashing out? Hell yeah, I'm crashing out. But I'm locked in.
I think Mad Dogs has crashed out.
I'm gonna open it up for somebody else.
All right.
Good
I'll
to
go
see
down.
you.
It's time to go!
Don't you ever play that for me ever again. All right.
All right, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks for
All right.
everything.
Much
Thanks,
love.
bro. I'll speak to you. I'll speak to
See
you
you
next
next
chat,
week.
Ella.
100%. Enjoy, guys.
Love you.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
Hey,
back.
Rocco.
he's
Hey,
back.
How
Rocco,
are you,
what do
Big
you
Vince?
think of the
got a
respect
second
around the
win.
program and the gender equality shit that we have going on?
What's going on?
I said, what do you think of the respects
Oh,
around the gender equality stuff and all this shit that we do?
Listen, let's be
Orange
serious.
socks.
Like we
hey,
all
listen.
agree that they're all good things, right? They are all
Yeah.
good things, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to respect everybody. I love everybody. I give kisses to everybody. I want everyone to have equal rights. I want everything for everybody. But on the footy field, I want to win games. And the problem is when you're not winning games, all this stuff comes to the forefront, If you're winning games, we wouldn't care so much. You know what I
Exactly right.
mean? You take it and it's all fun, but it seems to be always about a social. We like what do? We back everything. We back everything possible. I can't believe we didn't fix the COVID problem when it was when we had that big problem. That's because we can fix anything but hitting a target 20 meters. That's the one thing we can't do, right? But we can fix everything else. And it's starting to shit me. And you're right, Vince. What they do is all this stuff is thrown out there just to deflect it from winning, and the most important thing to us, let's be serious, is
Reflection
winning
and
the
distraction.
I've got a super chat. Being $10. Thank you very
I
much.
love this. I've read it already. It's fantastic.
I know you'd love it, you sick puppy.
The woke
Wokeness
mind
is
virus.
the wokeness is a disease that infects and destroys everything it touches. Carlton could have had Mike Fitzpatrick as the president, but the board refused it. The board doesn't want anyone with footy knowledge.
Imagine him and Graham Wright there, far out.
It's not just that.
Oh.
It's not
Perfect
just that they
I think
don't
it would
want
have been
someone
top
with footy
flag.
knowledge. The reason they rejected it, Mars, is because Priestley wanted the presidency. And the whole basis of getting Mike Fitzpatrick onto the board was a bit like what they did with Richard Pratt some 18 years ago, where they invited him on and immediately made him president. And that's exactly what the idea was from one of the board members, who happened to be quite independent, as a matter of fact, of not only the other board members, but even the benefactors. He was asked to come on because they were rustling up new board members in a great hurry. Luke Sayers had to find people, so we got one of them who was a sponsor to join the board. Now, he happened to be quite independent, unlike most of the others. He was the one that approached Mike Fitzpatrick. And Mike Fitzpatrick, I can tell you, said, I'm prepared to do it, but you have to have unanimous support. I'm not going to be jumping into a cauldron of fire here. I don't want any volatility. I don't want anyone, any faction of the board saying no and the other faction saying yes. It's got to be unanimous. And when he brought it to the board meeting, they all unanimously rejected it. And Kinsley and Priestley ended up saying, look, we've discussed this amongst ourselves. Kinsley said, I'm prepared to let Rob have the presidency. And that's exactly what they did. Then they moved to kick him out. Within the next month, they all basically had a no confidence motion in him, and he left the board. That's what happened. I've only learned that in the last 48 hours.
That's fantastic.
So that's how the board operates, mate. It's all about control and power for themselves.
Correct.
They're not interested in having a Mike Fitzpatrick, who is a dual premiership Carlton captain and a former chairman of the AFL Commission. What better person could you have as your president? And yet they said, no
the
thanks.
Mind. He's a Rhodes Scholar. Petra, thank you for the 5.
Therein lies the difference between a board who's doing things for the benefit of the club and a board that's doing everything for their own personal and business interests. That's it.
I agree. $5. Thank you very much, Petra. Always in the chat, an avid watcher of all
Well done,
channels.
Petra.
The Blues need more woke initiatives going forward. Anyway, good
Can
night.
I also
need
give
to
a
take
big
my
shout out to Lana Owens?
medication
I just want to
and
give
hit the
Lana a
sack.
big shout out.
Yeah, we love Lana. We do love Lana. She's a legend.
Can I put up a comment from Lana, or do you reckon it's too hardcore? I love that comment.
No, if she put a comment up, I'm sure she'd be happy.
I'm going to invite someone onto the stage too.
Oh, boy.
It's not Mad Dogs.
It's
Gokhan. I brought Gokhan in.
got?
How are you? Gokhan.
Who we got?
Gokhan.
Ah, Gokhan.
What are you in
Turn
bed,
your phone
bro?
around horizontal, mate. Turn your phone around the other way.
There we
That's
go.
better.
There we go. Can you boys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Through the
agenda.
Well done, Lana. Tell us what you really think.
Yeah, tell us what you really think, mate. And this is from Lana, who's a woman. You know what I mean? So
a woman.
It's not
A woman. Wow.
Well, it's not just.
How dare you say that? How dare you say she is a woman?
You're right. Yes, I think you're sorry. I shouldn't assume genders. I understand.
That is better. That's what I like to hear.
What's the definition of a woman, Rocco?
Definition of a woman? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because most of our politicians won't answer the question.
Gokhan,
Anyway,
how are you?
Let's move on.
Hey, doing well, boys.
How are you, Gokhan?
I went with a mindset today that I wasn't going to cheer. I wasn't going to say a word. I was going to just watch as a neutral.
How long did that last?
I last the whole fucking game, bro. This time.
Did you go to the game, or did you just watch it on TV?
Yeah, I did go to the game. Sit right on the wing, front row. I was
You
like,
reckon there was 32,898 people there?
Nah, no chance. Like first probably 25, and then by the midway through the fourth, there's probably like 15,000 left in the ground.
Oh, it's that.
Yeah, ridiculous.
If that, mate.
People.
I don't know.
Mate, we are shit.
Oh, proper shit.
Just watching as from like a neutral lens. Cause I just wanted to watch as a neutral lens. It did not say a bip the whole time, and we just looked shit.
Neutral. This bloke neutral. And I'm
trying to stay neutral, bro. I'm like, there's no need to support. Season's over already. So I just wanted to watch him as just what a neutral would see, and that was shit.
How bad is the missing of targets? 5 meter handballs to feet.
Mate,
I saw
10 meter kicks.
I saw them handball it back in. I forgot who it was from. Might have been Hewitt, or I'm not too sure. They've handballed it back into danger, into Pitane, into his feet. Like,
yeah, I think that was. I think it was a combination of Flynn Young and Hewitt. There was players on the outside, and they handballed it inwards towards traffic, and then they turned it over, and then Brisbane kicked the goal from it.
It's laughable, mate.
Did
Absolutely
you see where
laughable.
Haynes went to pass it to Doherty? He totally missed him.
Oh, in the pocket there.
The handball?
The handball.
In our defensive half. I'm like, what? I'm like, these are two senior players, man. Like, no wonder our younger players are not doing that well at the moment.
We're at
Mate,
full
all
back,
game like
right?
handballing to each other's feet.
You know, I was almost half expecting to hear the Benny Hill music come out after a while.
Yeah. There was some sequences
when you
where
listened to them last week, you know what you heard last week after the loss to Collingwood? Well, we've got to get back to work. We've got to get back to work. What have they been doing all week?
I always say that. I mean, I
didn't Charlie Curnow say that would be a
I
different
just want to
outfit?
interrupt. They said they're going to get back to work, but they didn't say how long this is going to take. They didn't say this week. They said they're going to get back to work. It could take 4, 5, 6 months. We don't know yet. You know,
Rocco, it's getting worse every week. That we can't kick to a target. We can't kick to a 10-meter target.
At half, we're at full back, right? And we're stuffing around with handballs.
Go.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We're at full back, right? We're stuffing around with handballs. The setup up the field's horrible anyway. You're making it worse for yourself by rushing yourself into a shit kick, which you know is going to be a shit kick if you keep stuffing around. The amount of times we had Wiedering, Haynes, McGovern, Cowan even, like just shit handballs that were not quite to where they were supposed to be, and it would make the fact that there was and it would make the kick, that was the next kick, be horrible, and it set us up again for failure. Like those little things that we can't afford to have those things. No team can afford to have those things, let alone us who set up shit down the field.
100%. And
thank
did you
you
see
for becoming
Mars
a
when
member.
we?
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Lana, she's a star. Remember that one where Curnow got it on the 50 and he went to handball it and his
Motlop.
To Motlop, but he handballed behind him. I mean, those are little things. Like he handballed to where he was, not where he should have been. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Then you look at Brisbane, they're always handballing or kicking to where they should be. And the player receiving it knows exactly where they are, where they should be. And another thing is, how many times did we handball and they got a hand to it, or
even kicks to the wing and they get a little tap to it.
It's like they knew what we were going to do before we knew what we were going to do.
They said, I know you're going to take that kick, and we took it.
100%, and they know, and we're just so dumb that we just keep doing the same thing over again. You know what I mean?
I'm convinced they're trolling us. They got to be trolling us. You can't be this bad. We've got to be fucking trolled.
Unfortunately, Mars, they are really that bad.
Can you not be able to hit a 25-meter kick, no pressure, and to kick to space? How? Fogarty tonight.
Chera had one uncontested 15-meter kick miss, kicked it over. I think it was Williams' head.
That was on the members' wing going inside.
Yeah.
Bro, how the fuck
Did you see Fogarty's 2 howlers? Did you see Fogarty's 2 howlers within a minute? One was the step shot in front of goal. Yeah. And then he stuffs up and turns it over again.
This bloke's trolling us, bro.
They've got to drop him. Sorry, he has to be dropped this week. If he gets a game against Melbourne, this club is just not serious. Not serious.
I don't think there's anyone left.
It doesn't matter. Play Harry Lemmy. Play the Camporeale brothers. Give them a go. Let's see if they can play.
Okay.
The season's gone, Mars. Does it matter now whether we're 6-12 or 6-16? It doesn't matter. Play some of these guys and see what your list is capable of.
He won't do it.
You know why? Because Voss is still there as the coach. I guarantee you that if they end up sacking Voss, if we lose to Melbourne, don't be surprised if they move on him. Even if you just lose to Melbourne by a couple of goals. Because that's a game we would be expected to win.
You know what it is, I reckon? We're prepared ourselves for 6 weeks of shit, but we're not going to know how we feel exactly after we lose. I mean, we're going to inevitably lose a game in the next 6 weeks, but we're not preparing ourselves. Like last week, we're like, oh, we're going to lose to Brisbane. It's going to be the same thing. And now we're here and we feel worse because it's another loss. I don't know if that makes sense.
We're wasting opportunities, Zach. Every week that goes past, we are wasting an opportunity, right? Because it's the same bloody playbook every single week, right?
Yeah.
It's the same coach. It's the same start. Then the same middle of the game where we lose it all. And 3/4 time the game's done. The opposition puts the cue in the rack and we kick a couple of goals in the last and reduce the margin by a little bit. And it's been the same thing for 4 weeks. The only way we're going to be able to
opposition coaches and players can say that.
Properly assess what this list is all about is to play the entire list. The season's gone. We can't make the finals. I really think that they need to make a move on Voss now because there's no way in the world he's going to be coaching next year. I don't care what anybody says.
Detrimental now having for this long.
So put in one of the assistant coaches or Ash Hansen or whoever, and just say, right, that's it. We're playing. We're going to start dropping all the big names, McGovern, the whole lot of them. Just get rid of them. They're useless. Start playing the kids. David Rees-Jones on our show has been calling for Harry Lemmy to be given an opportunity for the last 10 weeks.
He won't get given.
And he never gets given a chance.
Go, Aiden.
I really hope they don't play Akers next week. Do you think they would?
If they play Akers next week, they're not serious.
I'm not going. I can't stand him.
No, apparently, Voss mentioned in his presser that we're lacking forwards at the moment, so he didn't even mention Lemmy or anything. That's why he has to play. That's why he has to play TDK in the forward line.
Fucking Motlop. He had Frankie Rasklar Evans down back last week. He's got
Motlop's in the middle.
And then our makeshift forward when McGovern gets sent forward when shit hits the fan.
Is that the only move that we did?
That's it. It's just McGovern to the forward line.
He didn't say that.
Say
mean?
what?
He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, I just read it. He said that we just don't have any
No,
tall forward stocks at the moment. When there's
Bro,
Lemmy in the
Fucking
reserves.
man, is he stupid?
I wonder who makes that decision.
social experiment. We're a social experiment. He didn't say that. That's fucked, man. What's wrong?
And again, literally what we said an hour ago. Would you be surprised if he did? No, I wouldn't be. No one
We've
would.
got Harry Lemmy there. What do you mean we don't have any tall stocks? What's this guy on, Voss? Oh,
So you just know TDK's playing. You just know TDK's playing every single game until the end of the year.
What does Ben Camporeale have to do to get an opportunity? Tell me.
You know what? You know what I want, Vince. You know what? You know these kids. You know what? Don't play them. Don't tarnish
don't wanna
them.
wreck 'em.
Don't tarnish them.
That's how bad we
No,
are.
but if
poison.
it's under a new assistant coach,
Yeah.
I'll take your mind back
Different
4
story,
years
yeah.
ago. They
I
sacked
agree,
Brendan,
but if it's under
actually
Voss, I don't
not
want
4
to
years
see it.
ago.
No.
Sorry,
Wait for the new coach.
6.5 years ago. Remember when they sacked Brendan Bolton halfway through 2019?
And Barker,
David
wasn't
Teague
it?
took over and
Oh,
said,
Teague,
right,
Teague.
let's go out all attack and free you all up. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. It'll just put a broom through the place. It'll be a breath of fresh air. It'll be a pressure release, just like Rocco said. And you'll be surprised what some of these players will be able to do if you give them a chance. Otherwise, if all we do is say we just
game plan. What
And
are we
they'll
going
be
to
jump
do?
on the Hanson train.
We're just going to run around with like chooks with our heads chopped off. We don't know
Rocco,
what we're doing now.
if you don't sack Voss now with 6 weeks to go,
I understand that. But
what are
I
you
don't
going to
think it's
achieve between now and the end of the year? Tell me, what are you going to achieve? Tell me what.
I agree. I think he's got to go either this week or next week. It's going to happen. I agree. But what I'm saying, it's not going to change anything to the game plan or these are going to be free. I don't think it's going to be any of that. I think it's just going to
It
be
won't
work.
be Voss's game plan anymore. It'll be.
What?
Believe me, the interim coaches do it. They always do it. They free them up.
So what do you think is going to happen? You're going to bring in Jesus Christ next week, right? As the coach. Let's put Jesus Christ in there, right? What do you think in a week they're going to get this thing? What game plan is there? I don't understand. Like, what's this new magical game plan?
I like this one from Tony. What else we can do?
They are done.
I like this. There is no leadership to protect these kids, though. And we've seen it from round one as well. I mean,
Saw it last week with Harry O'Farrell.
O'Farrell, Camporeale in round one. They killed him a million times. O'Farrell. I thought O'Farrell was brilliant tonight, to be honest.
O'Farrell was good today.
I thought he was brilliant. I think it was a shining light in a dark.
He tried hard.
Him and Cowan stood up.
This is what I'm trying to say. Even if they make mistakes, and these kids are the future. These are the ones that are on your list that you've just given a 2-year extension to. So play them and educate them. That's the only way they're going to learn. You know, young Matty Carroll tonight, he got tackled a couple of times. He had nowhere to kick the ball. There was no one making any position for it. He got tackled. Okay, so some people might have a go at him. He'll learn from that. That the pace of AFL doesn't give you the sort of time that the VFL does. So
I felt sorry for him a few times, though. I felt sorry. And this is what I'm saying, that Tony's point is that the leaders do not help these kids. I agree like they're hung out to dry. Just if something goes wrong, it's okay, mate. Like fucking
The one where Carroll got just tackled by Charlie Cameron, had like 40 years with the ball, no one speaking to him.
This is what
no one speaking to him.
Doherty was next to him.
I blame the players around him for not yelling, kick it. It's not his fault.
Just kick it,
mate.
Doherty just tell him kick it.
Question of everybody? Can I ask a question of everybody? Hypothetical. Not that I think the club will do it because they've got no guts whatsoever. But if West Coast came to Carlton and said, "Listen, Harley Reid, we can't convince him to stay. He wants to go back to Victoria. How about we just do a straight swap? We'll take Patrick Cripps and you take Harley Reid." Who would do that deal?
Because they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. You're not going to get a 30-something-year-old that looks like he's beaten up. And what, you think they're going to do a straight swap with him? We're going to have to give them.
Even if you give them an additional draft pick or an additional player, that's fine. Let's just say that it's a deal that they're prepared to
It
do,
wouldn't
and
be
it
an
looks like
additional,
a
it would
fair
be
deal.
draft pick. You're going to have to give him
The
a
biggest
first
question
rounder.
is, would you swap your current captain for potentially, what this kid could do and trade for potential?
Maybe it rips the heart out of him. I mean, we always say he's a spiritual leader.
But again, do they play with spirit?
I mean, if
Not
that
really.
happened, I would give the whole playing list a fucking shock.
Yeah, I think it would too. I think no one is safe. No one should be
On
safe.
the lines of that, though, I'd agree
with.
Like, we've been just for too long. We need something to kind of shock.
I'm telling you, he needs experience. He needs help around him, Cripps. That's winning experience. That's what he needs.
Like, I feel like trading Cripps is pretty extreme. Like, that's like almost hitting the full rebuild button again, not a reset. If that makes sense.
And
This is what I've
always thought Parker was the one. He's got.
But even if we get Harley Reid,
he's still
just about to say that,
mate. Fucking hell, mate. I don't get it.
Parker was a perfect half forward connection. He would have been perfect.
Yeah, but every time we burst him, he had 28 and he had 30.
Yeah, a couple of goals.
Even if we get Harley Reid, like you're talking about winning experience and all that, what winning experience will he have here?
No, he'll just imagine how he is now mentally. We'll fuck him even more.
Yeah,
we'll destroy
You're not
him.
recruiting him for that.
No, he needs a leader on the pitch and off the pitch that can manage the ego, because he's going to be a very good, very, very good footballer. Which he will, his mind it'll come in check, but he needs good, strong leaders around him to set an example. And our ones don't even do it now with the young kids we got.
I mean, Mars, we had 3 opportunities the last few years to get Gunston, Bruce, possibly.
Telling you, I would go get Camden McIntosh. We all laugh, but I get him.
I agree. He'd do very well on the wing.
Yeah, McIntosh, even like you said, perfect.
Better than Akers. He's an upgrade on Akers.
100%. I've always felt that our drafts pre-Cripps, pre-Curnow, Mackay, or anything like that, those kind of our drafts before that have put the club now in a really shit position, because you've got players drafted in the 2015 drafts, that were kind of that core when you talk about our best players. But for me, the ones that were drafted earlier, I mean, there's just nothing there. Like, none of them are at the club anymore, really, besides Cripps.
They're all.
So again, you've got no other layer of leadership, really. Like, the only one we've got is like Nick Newman, and he wasn't drafted by us, obviously. You know what I mean? And he hasn't been there for too long. But that's my thing. I just feel like if we could have had some sort of leader above our actual leaders, or what we call leaders that are failing, I feel like. I mean, you have to go external now for that.
This bloke, mate.
And he was in the drafts. He was in one of those drafts that I'm talking about.
He was like 2013 draft,
2014.
Fucking this bloke's a fucking champion. Norm Smith medalist, premiership fight. Like, fuck me, mate.
Could have pulled the trigger. Harry Mackay for Petrarca should have been done.
I reckon if it was a straight swap, Harry and Petrarca with no picks, I would have done it. But I think they would have wanted a godfather offer. Forget it.
Like, I think, as Mars put it, we've got to split up one direction.
You've got to get rid of it, mate. It has to be done. It's got to be done. They need
to that talks about Bailey Fritz in the off season. That's a premiership player, I guess.
I don't mind that. He's a good.
You have to be open to a lot of things now.
40 goals in a year. He's proven that he's done that. So I don't mind
that. 6 goals in a grand final.
Equal most ever.
Well, Up the Baggers reckons that Graham Wright will be ruthless and a lot of changes will start. How believable that is from him, I don't know, but hopefully that's true.
The informant himself, no worries.
Yeah. Nine talks about it, but we're going to need a ruckman as well when TDK leaves.
Yeah. I mean,
which is doable because there's a lot out there.
I don't think we do. I think we're all right.
Curnow did pretty well tonight.
Yeah, but Pitane will bring in, what's his name? Hudson O'Keefe.
O'Keefe and Pitto, that's it.
He'll bring him
through. Third, I feel like maybe a backup for between Pitto and Hudson. I don't think O'Keefe's ready yet.
No, I agree.
Hey Rocco, how good was that torpedo from Pitnet on quarter time? That was
Mate.
That was the
something.
highlight.
That was the highlight of the night, I reckon, for us.
Torpedo.
That's been the highlight for 4 weeks.
It's the best thing we've done since GWS last year.
Yeah. And then he also kicked the other goal from the goal square when he fell into his arm. So he's kicked 2 goals.
Yeah, he was our leading goal scorer for the night.
Yeah.
Well, he's a leading, and he's also kicked more goals than Charlie's kicked in 4 weeks. So he's doing.
That was Darcy Ford from Brisbane.
He really did show up TDK tonight. He really did show him up and showed him what it takes with some hard work. What a ruckman needs to do. I'm telling you, when you look at
TDK should not be playing.
No, he looks like he's just given up. I mean, his efforts are actually disgusting.
One-armed efforts.
It's not us being salty and saying, "Oh, he's leaving us. That's why he's shit." No, like genuinely, I wouldn't sign him for $1 next year. He's actually not a good player for us. He might be in a few years. I don't think he's good enough player at the moment.
He hasn't retired yet, but would you consider getting Pendlebury in the footy department or somewhere in the club?
Someone like that kind of character. Maybe not a Collingwood. Again,
I start at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Rocco, so I'm all good.
Yeah, I start late too, so I start in the afternoon. So
I start in about 6 hours, and my boss will who was on last week.
Would you guys consider getting Pendlebury when he retires next year or the week after as a footy department someone?
Someone like that.
He'll be a Collingwood person his whole life.
Yeah. Can I just say, well done to all those 140 or so people that are still watching at 2:15 a.m. Unbelievable. Well done.
Xbox Game Pass said I was talking too much again. Sorry, man. Let me just go and mute myself. Sorry, man. Sorry, bro. Sorry. I didn't mean to talk too much.
Who said that?
Nah, Xbox Game Pass. He always takes the piss out of me, and I love it. I love when people take the piss out of me.
That's what we're all about, man. That's
Rocco,
what we're all about.
Hey, Rocco, can I ask your opinion on something, Rock?
Oh, I'll give it to you.
Give it, yeah.
Do you think?
Give it, yeah.
You would remember. You would remember at the end of 2007 when I think Lance Whitnell was our captain for 1 year, and then his knees gave way and he had to retire, and the club basically said, you won't be getting a contract for next year, right? So
exactly, yeah.
No leadership left. Now that's not quite the case now because we've got our captain, but. Do you think the club's almost at the stage similar to that where we need to recruit like we did in 2007, Chris Judd to come across and be... I mean, he was recruited literally to captain the side without ever having played a game for us before. Do you think that we're ready for that now to bring in someone with some really significant leadership skills? Or do you think that would just...
I don't think,
destabilise the whole playing group or something?
Yeah, I don't think we're at that stage. I don't think we need to bring someone in and make him captain. I think we can make a captain within, and I'm thinking like a Wiedering. I think is a man, even though he hasn't been playing that well. But who would you bring that would be at that sort of quality, and then make him captain immediately?
Let me rephrase it then. Even if you don't bring him in as the captain and you leave the captaincy with Cripps and Wiedering and all those guys. But bring someone with really good, strong leadership skills, like what Mars was saying about Luke Parker.
100%.
We've been saying that for ages, and especially Mark has been pushing that point for ages. We need to bring in...
The question is who's available, who would you target, who could you lure out of the club that they're currently playing for, and
you know who's available?
That was last year, Petrarca.
You know who's available?
Would have been the one, yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah. He hasn't
but
signed
that's
his
not
contract
happening
yet.
now. That's not happening now. So, who else?
He hasn't signed his contract yet. He hasn't signed his contract yet.
I mean, I would have to look at it.
Oh,
who's
yeah,
that?
the Bond.
He's not going to go.
Anyone.
No
like, I honestly, I was saying James Walker tonight.
Marcus Bonton-Barassi. You're going to bring him to Carlton?
Watch him go Collingwood or something.
I'm just having a look who is out of contract.
They brought Ron Barassi to Carlton at about the same age as what Marcus Bontempelli is. And they brought him over to captain and coach.
Look, we need to bring in. What we need to do is we need to bring in first of all a coach who has leadership skills, like real leadership skills, and maybe someone who's got some sort of like winning, like attributes there.
Like what
And
Brisbane
then
did with Luke Hodge.
100%. And we need a couple of players to really, instill that leadership on the ground, because it seems like we haven't got it, man. And we need, and the Luke Hodge was the perfect move.
I got one for you.
You bring in a veteran.
I
The youth
love
rise up
Enzo
well.
Valentino's comment. How about that Kennedy guy from the Western Bulldogs?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that?
And I'm giving him 500 for the year, or 600 for 2 years, 1.2, 1.3 million.
Yep.
Mitch Duncan.
How old is he?
Yeah. Yes, Mars, good call.
Mitch Duncan. He is 34 years of age.
Yeah, I'll do it.
He may be a bit past it already at 34.
Well, how old
but
was Luke Hodge when he went? 32?
Oh, he's
33?
only about 30,
Birchall
31,
went there too,
32.
didn't he? Grant Birchall.
Sam Mitchell.
Maybe 33 tops. He played for 2
But
years. I
even-
think he played there when
even-
he was 33 and 34.
Even if it's 1 year with Mitch Duncan,
From an actual
I'd like
elite
to.
organisation.
I'd like to.
At least he
but
comes from a club that's got a fantastic culture in Geelong.
Correct. So this is what I'm saying is that you need a player like that, like Luke Bruce. I think maybe too injury prone now. Even though that Duncan, I think
Yeah.
he get. I think no, he was on the beach. He was just on the bench the whole night. Would you get someone like this in your forward line? I know he's a bit left field. I know there's Bailey Fritsch, but would you get someone like a Jake Malcolm? I know he didn't play in the flag.
He's about to sign a new contract with Melbourne, just quietly.
Yeah.
He's already 34, Jake Malcolm, funnily enough.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit-
But he's in very good form.
You know who's? I mean, I want a premiership player, but you know who is? I mean, he'll never leave. He's Travis Boak. But for me, it's Mitch Duncan. That's the one now. Or Camden McIntosh.
What about Tom Mitchell from Collingwood?
Nah.
Nah.
You can get like a McIntosh and Fritz, both those players.
Yeah,
McIntosh and Fritz.
Fritz and McIntosh are the ones. They're the ones.
I said it before. We had 4 opportunities in 2 years, and we completely fucked it. Even last year, we didn't decide to get Parker. Nothing.
Nah.
Parker.
They're the ones you got to go for. There's only two. There's two right now. Is Fritsch and what's his name?
McIntosh. Yeah.
And McIntosh. They're the premiership experience. You can give them 2 years as well. I mean, fuck. What more do you
Gunston
want?
went
They're
to
there.
Brisbane. Gunston went to Brisbane for a year. They made a grand final and they won the flag the next year.
But Fritz can actually give you good game time. I think he's still 28 years old, so he'll demand a good salary still.
And to your point, Aiden, all the young players at Brisbane, their kind of leadership level raised up as well. When Gunston came in, he goes, "Oh shit, this is a guy who's been there, done that. I've got to kind of step up as a young person."
But this is another question I'm going to ask. And someone mentioned it there. I know he's a bit of a smart ass, but it sounds like it's a Collingwood supporter, and I think I'd be worrying about social issues with you guys trying to bloody actually be moral people. But anyway, would any of these players want to come to Carlton?
Probably not.
That's the problem too, you know what I mean? We go, I'm going to take Bontempelli. I want to take him.
I think so. If Carlton comes to you, and I think with the right offer, I think they would come. Yeah.
Money.
But you're also playing at Carlton, and what do they want to come and play for money, or do they want to come and improve?
Exactly.
Well, if they're coming for money,
you've got to be hoping that by getting that type of mindset, we're getting someone who wants to improve.
Yeah, I want someone that wants to improve players around him. What can he bring that we don't have? That's what I want.
So if they're only coming for money, we don't want them. You can't.
No,
have
absolutely
those
not.
You got to lure them with money.
You have to lure them with money. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the right deal. Yeah, like if we're going like 800K, like 1.6 million for some, guy that's about to drop off a cliff, well then no. But if we're going that They're not Luke Hodge. Luke Hodge fucking 2 Norm Smith, 4 flags. That's different caliber.
What about the 36-year-old?
That's Zorko.
He's
How
36.
good was Dane? How good? Seriously, how fucking good was Dane Zorko tonight? He was unbelievable. 36 years of age. That guy, I know some people don't like him. I actually love watching him play.
You know why? You know why they don't like him? Because he's a good footballer. That's why.
Exactly.
I actually like him a lot.
They've got a good system.
But not only that, how about all of the other? How about all of the other Brisbane midfielders? Like Dunkley won the medal tonight. Lockie Neal was probably stiff not to win it. Jared Berry is having a season and a half on his wing.
Go to my boy.
The Ashcroft brothers.
The Ashcroft brothers were taking the piss all night.
And even young Fletcher, Adrian Fletcher's son.
That's for Fletcher. He's a good
All
footballer.
right, Mark. You keep groaning there. You all right?
Will Ashcroft 40-1.
And that's not even. And I haven't even mentioned Hugh McCluggage, who would probably be one of the Brownlow favourites at the moment. I mean,
the Rolls Royce.
He got tagged, but he still made an impact. Like,
unbelievable.
Nah, mate. Talk about Zach Bailey, mate. What a player Zach Bailey is.
Bro, he was betting tonight. That bloke was betting tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Kick 3 behind in the first quarter could have buried the game.
He kicked 5 goals straight last week. He kicked 1 goal 4 this week.
All I got to tell you is that Sportsbet rang him up before the game and said, "Hey, brother,
jeez, hope they are."
They had a price pump. They had a price pump for him for 2 or more. They gave him the call, mate. He got a 50.
Dayhar's going to be all over that one.
Make sure you don't kick more than 1 goal, and there's 50 grand in it for you.
100%.
By the way, we drafted Lockie O'Brien before him.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Right, Bing puts a good one here. How about just getting a coaching group in who can change the culture? Long miles.
Another facet, yeah.
I'd like him as a head of football, but yeah.
Yeah, I like him as a head of football too.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna head off to bed because I've got work at 7:30. So
yeah.
All right.
Take care, Aiden. Take care. Another emergency meeting will be had. Take care.
Wait a second, Mars. I want to see the.
It's time to go!
There you go.
Hey, listen, when Aiden's on, can we get one of those broomsticks underneath his head? Because he looks like Dickie Lee there on the screen.
He
needs he's just got his head, and then he's got the bed head above it, and that's it. You never see anything else except his head.
He's got the Omega going from down below. I don't know anymore. I genuinely don't know. What is the time? Fuck, 2:30. Jesus.
Fuck.
Almost 2:30.
Good night, Lana. And
good night, Lana.
Good night, Lana. I was actually, we were laughing. During the second half. Mars started okay. Then in the middle period, he absolutely cracked it for about half an hour. And then we just all calmed down again, and we just all sat there and we giggled at a lot of stuff. At one stage, I have never done this. I was looking through my phone while they were playing. In the last quarter, I started looking through Facebook and looking through our chat and that, see what was going on. Yeah, that's how bored I was at the end. It was just. Yeah, and then we kept saying they're taking the piss out of us, and everything was happening. The security guards.
That's a banana of the week. Do not spoil that. That's banana of the year. Contender.
Well, we had 2 of them tonight.
Yeah,
both
true.
of them, the one there and the one at the end. I'm telling you, and it's like the twilight. Like we were going, what is going on here, man? Like not only what's going on the ground, like. They are taking the piss out of us. And then the songs they chose. The
Lion King.
It's all right, though.
Third quarter entertainment.
All right. Throw your Hyundai keys in the air.
Are you serious, Mars? They played The Lion King.
Yeah,
kids were singing. Yeah, it was a kid song.
What, 3/4 time?
Yeah.
Well, we're down by 50 points, correct?
There was actually kids singing on the microphone.
I thought you were going to say they put on What's that song again? The jungle, the mighty jungle.
No. They played the Lion King song. Mate, there is no kings. The only kings that were out there were the Brisbane Lions, mate. That's it. That was it.
Mate, I'm telling you right now, there's 23 lions that are sleeping very nicely tonight in their hotel rooms.
Boy, I'm going to give props, though. I'm going to give props to one thing on the night. Obviously, we got Peter Nate, but the young kid that was announcing, get him on every week over that.
He was good.
Get him on.
He was giving actual questions.
Wasn't Ash O'Doney the MC there tonight? Didn't she announce the winner of the Norm Smith, the Robert Walls medal and all that?
Yeah, she was, but I think it's like kids round, so they were getting like kids involved with some of the stuff.
They got this little kid involved, and he was really good.
But really good with the players as well, the player names and stuff.
Didn't see any of that on TV. I didn't see any of that on TV.
Michael.
By the way, big shout out to Seba.
Oh, you are kidding me.
I love you too, mate, wherever you are. Oh, there he is.
Go to sleep, man. Put your phone on charge.
Oh, my phone's on 85%.
I don't care. Put your phone on charge.
Have a look at the perspective we've got of you here. I was going to say, who you got next to you the way you're lying down?
I got a pillow of my dogs. Yeah, nah. I just want to say, you mentioned it before, but was it O'Farrell? I think he played a very good game tonight, so I'm very happy for him. Very happy for him. And also, next week we are not winning, but we're going to get done by at least 100 points.
We're not winning another game this year.
100 points.
Boy, they'll be out to smell blood. They'll actually want to put a statement win together.
They haven't been good for the last.
Put Malcolm for 5 goals.
Yeah, Melksham always plays well against us.
5 and 3.
Oh, Petrarca's going
to be fucking darting.
Oh, Gorn's going to bloody step all over.
It's MDK. Forget it.
I mean, Mark Jake Lever.
He's going to be a cash converter.
Actually, wait up.
Check himself in.
Wait, you mentioned that name. You mentioned that name in Premiership players. Jake Lever. There's been talk about him being able to be tried out of Melbourne. There's been talk about him being
he's a good leader.
Why not go and get Jake Lever?
And he's only 29. He's actually only 29, so he's by no means finished, mate. He's got 5 good years left in him.
He's still young.
Fuck, you'd have to lose one of your defenders.
That's a good call, Seba. That's a very good
Jack
call.
Silvani hasn't signed yet.
By the way, guess who I reckon we're going to play? Guess who I reckon we're going to play into form next week? Because we always do this whenever we play the opposition. No. Oh, yeah, maybe him. But you watch Clayton Oliver.
Oh, he'll have 50.
Oh, yeah.
He'll end up getting 40 possessions and kick 3 goals. You watch.
Oh, my God, blood. Oh, my God. Oh,
another name, put Jared Rivers for 30 touches or more.
Oh, my.
What are you saying, Maz?
Yeah, the tip rat, mate.
It's going to be a war crime what he's going to do to us.
Fuck. He could have 25 and 5.
Who are we going to put on him?
Easy.
You guys are negative. Carlton's going to win next week.
He's going to
You guys
split
are
up.
negative. You guys are all negative.
No, don't be negative, guys. Let's send them all.
But I'm going to hop off.
Hey, Mars, are you talking about Cozzy Pickett?
Yeah, because I pick it.
Yeah.
He's going to split us over a hot fire.
I love that guy. I absolutely think
he's going to be.
Can't speak highly enough of him.
If Voss is still there next week, he's gonna he's gonna match up Motlop and Keziah Pickett in the fucking middle. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god.
Marcello, run through the
I would
camera.
seriously pay money. I would seriously pay money just to go and watch Melbourne games to watch him play. I love watching him play.
Gonna say
absolutely love watching Cozzy Pickett.
And then he'll get Saad to play a lockdown role on him in the forward line.
Oh.
Hey,
I would sign him up on a 7-year extension.
Hey, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna hop off and crank my electric blanket up to 50, so I cook in bed.
By the way, everyone, if whoever's still watching, tune in to Blue Sunday this Sunday because the bloke that's about to say goodbye to us is actually going to be hosting.
Oi, Michael.
Yes,
Michael.
It's time to go!
Piss off. Go get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Ella.
See you guys.
Ella.
See ya, mate. How we going?
You can do another one. I'm gonna head off as well.
I think we're all gonna go because it's
All gonna go, yeah,
2:30. It's 2:30.
Yep.
Don't
Don't forget to get your tickets to the end of the year function.
Yes, the live show. I'll be.
Am I crashing out? Hell yeah, I'm crashing out. But I'm locked in.
Yeah, so I'll be crashing out. We're all going to be crashing out. Yes, thanks, Vince. The live show. What day is it for? What date was it again?
Saturday, the 30th of August.
He's all over it.
At Howlers in Brunswick, starting at 6 o'clock.
Might as well just,
I'm waiting on a return call from somebody. Hopefully we can confirm another special guest.
That's it. Shut your mouth now. That's it. I'm shutting you up now.
We're going to give away something, and if we do get this person, it's a big one. So yeah.
Thanks, Vince. I appreciate it. Zach,
always happy to help out, boys.
Thanks, boys.
All the boys. Morris,
thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Everyone's been on. This is where it's at.
Good to
Mad
see you,
Dogs came on for a bit.
Good seeing you,
Zach.
Aiden. I already said so, Zach.
Always a pleasure, Zach.
Where the big boys play. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Vince.
It'll be another emergency meeting done. We'll see you. Everyone in the chat. Sorry.
It should be. I reckon there might be an emergency meeting on Monday after they sack.
Not even. I reckon it'll be maybe. Yes. Yeah. I reckon. Yeah. Monday. Yeah.
It'll be Monday. It won't be done over the weekend. It'll be on a Monday morning.
Yeah, true. Monday morning. Everything's brand new. Monday morning. Yeah, I'll be doing an emergency meeting from my office.
Do you really think that they're going to do all this to take away from all of the? I don't think they're going to sack Boss on Monday, Rocco. You know why? Because it'll take the focus away from their priority, which is to promote the Carlton Respects program this week.
You know what? Maybe I believe that. Maybe you're right. I seriously do believe that.
I'm being serious.
They would wait because the most important thing to them is to promote this.
Can't catch us.
And if you sack Boss, I'm telling you, it'll crush whatever media attention the Carlton Respects program would normally get. It'll get very little coverage because it's all about Voss being sacked by Carlton, and they won't.
But I'll predict that now we get smashed by Melbourne, right? The Monday following, he's done. Yeah.
One of the things that saved Voss tonight is the reduction from 52 points at three-quarter time down to 37. That made it look.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
I know it's stupid, right? It flatters us, but nevertheless, it's 37 points, not 73 points. If it was the other way around, maybe. But you're right. If they lose to Melbourne
in the last quarter,
badly, they might do it after the Melbourne game if we lose.
And on that bombshell, we are out of here. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you share. I mean, what else more is it, dude? Get to the games. Watch everything. We love you. We love you all. Take care.
We love you all.
Yeah, boys. Have a good night.
Go Blues.